Hello my loves, what's up, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I wanted to give a huge shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Skillshare. You guys know I love Skillshare, and if you have not heard of them before, they're essentially a huge online platform where you can learn and browse through different classes upon almost any subject that you can think of. They have classes on photography, videography, web development, starting a business, interior design, fashion, so many different things. If you have a skill that you desire to learn or improve on, Skillshare is an amazing platform for browsing through classes and finding teachers to teach you these skills. So I highly recommend checking out Skillshare. One of the most recent classes that I took on there was all about the basics of interior design by Lauren Cox. It was a really great class. I'm trying to learn how to maybe spruce up my home a little bit and to change things around in order for it to flow a little bit better and be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing in here so that I feel more comfortable and homey. And that class was really great because she talks about, how to find your interior design style and how to basically get into styling that. So highly recommend that course, and also highly recommend a bunch of others. I've taken classes on Skillshare about photography, again, videography, a whole bunch of different things to basically improve my skills in many different areas. So I highly recommend checking out Skillshare, and the first 1,000 people to click the link down below in the description box get a free trial of Skillshare. So if you have been interested in learning a new skill or trying something else out, highly recommend checking out that link because the first 1,000 people to click it get a free trial of Skillshare. So check it out. I hope you love them just as much as I do. And again, a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, let's hop right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves, what's up, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a new pick a card reading, and this one is all about your life in 5 years from now. I'm so excited for this reading. I love doing these future readings where we get to know a lot of insight about what is coming our way. So if you are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you a little rundown of how they work. So over here we have group number 1, then we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. And then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that is linked to your specific card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your life in 5 years from now. If you like to choose with crystals on the cards, then let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you guys like to choose with crystals, then here are our crystal options. Over here on group number 1, we have some rose quartz. Then we have some mukayet jasper. This is a red piece of mukayet jasper. It looks a little dark in the camera, but it is a really deep red color. Then over here on group number 3, we have some amethyst. And then on group number 4, we have some more mukayet jasper, but this is a yellow piece. And then over here on group number 5, we have this malachite. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that is linked to your particular card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your life in 5 years from now. We're going to try to get as much information as possible. And I asked all the guides and angels of 100% pure white light to come through and give us information for your highest good at this time. So with that being said, basically that is what we're going to be doing. And I also want to add a little disclaimer that you have free will and you can change anything at any time. So if there's something in your reading that you would like to alter or change or, manifest differently or whatever, you have free will and you can change your future at any time through the process of deliberate change and manifestation. We all have free will, so you're not bound by anything that you hear in today's reading. This is just your current direction upon what you are currently manifesting in your future. And if it's all good, then that means you're headed in the right direction, my love. So yes, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video, starting now. All right, my loves, if you chose group number 1, then this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group 1, we have a lot going on here, a lot of really good things, might I say. Whew, my goodness. So we have the Queen of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the 4 of Pentacles, we have the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant, and then we have the Lovers right here. So first thing that I noticed right off the bat is that there's a lot of emotional fulfillment that you are going to attain over the next 5 years. So wherever you are right now, I think your love life is going to get better than what it is even right now. So even if you have a good love life right now, I think that is still even going to improve more. If you are lacking in the love department, I think that you're going to be very fulfilled in the love department 5 years from now. It looks like a lot of good things are coming into your life. And again, lots of emotional fulfillment, even, you know, in terms of creativity, the things that you're passionate about, all sorts of things like that. I think that in 5 years from now, I see you being somebody that is very much like developed more emotionally. I see you being much more mature, much more in tune with your emotions, and sort of like using your emotions as a guidance system. And I think you're going to be very sure on your direction and your flow in life. The fact that we have the Queen and Knight of Cups, because the Queen and Knight of Cups have a very high intuition and they know exactly where they're going. Just like a stream of water, it flows the easiest way possible, right? So if you like send water down, you know, a mountain, it is going to take the fastest, easiest route. Like water just naturally goes where the gravity kind of like pulls it the most. You know, it's not going to go uphill where it's struggling. Water just flows naturally the most easiest way because it just goes with the flow of, you know, the gravity and the direction of the universe. And so what that means for you is, you know, humans have our emotional guidance system as well, and water is very connected to emotions. And so what this is showing is that your emotions are going to be so heightened and so clear between now and 5 years from now that all of a sudden your direction is going to become very easy, and you're going to intuitively know the easiest way to accomplish your goals. You're going to intuitively know the easiest way to make it to any destination that you desire, or to overcome anything as well. Because a lot of the times overcoming something isn't about, you know, going through such a deep struggle, although, you know, willpower and determination definitely play a part. But at the same time, there's also sometimes an easy way just by like letting go and going with the flow and listening to your emotions, because your emotions will tell you whether you're going against the grain or going with the grain, right? So yeah, it's just about kind of going with the flow and being guided. And the fact that we start off this reading with the Queen and the Knight of Cups just tells me that I think you're going to be going in a much easier direction in life. Things feel like they're in more of a flow. You feel more in tune with your intuition, and your intuition is going to be very correct for you. I think you're going to gain a lot of clarity, especially if right now you maybe feel confused about a couple of different things in your life, and maybe you're, I don't know, asking different questions about like, do I go here? Do I go there? Do I choose this? Do I choose that? I think that you're going to have so much more clarity 5 years from now to where you're asking a lot less of those questions. You know, things have become much more clear to you, you know, whether you're supposed to let something go or move forward on something. I think those types of questions are going to come a lot easier to you. You're going to have a lot more clarity on those types of things just because you're listening to your emotions more and they're more in tune. And I also see you becoming deeper in tune with your spirituality as well, with the King and Queen and Knight of Cups. This is getting also more in tune spiritually, more connected to spirit. And through that connection, I think, you know, co-creating with the universe and manifesting kind of your desires is going to become a lot easier. And I do see you attaining like a bigger goal as well, because when I look at these two cards, it kind of makes me think that something that you're desiring right now is going to be mostly in your life 5 years from now. For the most part, I think that you're still going to have more desires 5 years from now, and I think that you're still going to be desiring to get even to new heights, you know, because we always desire new things. As we attain old goals, we then get to a new level where we desire new goals, right? And I do think that something that you're desiring right now is going to feel natural to you 5 years from now. It's going to feel like, oh, naturally, like, of course I have that. Of course I have already attained that. And it's going to be at the point where it already feels natural. And I think you're going to be embarking on a little bit of a new venture. And I think that this new venture is going to begin anywhere from 3 to 4 years from now. There's like a new venture that's kind of opening up and beginning for you that you're really excited about. And this could be in terms of career, creativity, something along the lines of this. It's sort of kind of opening a new doorway for you. And then the next card that we have here is the Four of Pentacles. And this talks about saving money. And I think that you're going to have more money in your bank account than you do right now, and I think you're going to be quite proud of it. And I also think that you're going to get into a saving regimen, because the Four of Pentacles makes me feel like either you're investing in something, you might buy property, for example, you might buy a house, or you're investing in, I don't know, like cryptocurrency or something. I don't know. Four of Pentacles is usually connected to investments, especially when it's next to the Ten of Pentacles, might I say. These two cards together very heavily resemble investments and growing money through investing. Maybe you're even investing into yourself, into your own business, for example. That could be another aspect of this. But somehow your money is growing. I also see this as a big purchase that you're really desiring to attain and reach. So this could be like buying property, buying a house, something like this in the next 5 years. Or again, just saving a lot of money or investing it into the right places. Again, it's a general reading, so I'm kind of pointing out all the different options that these two card combinations can signify. But also the Four of Pentacles is, we're definitely getting more into saving rather than spending. And I think, I also see you spending more and being able to have more freedom than you do right now. I definitely see that with the Ten of Pentacles, but also with the Four of Pentacles, it's like you're also saving more and you're proud of that savings. And you're more keen and focused on having a savings and growing that savings, which might be the reason why within the next 5 years you might get into some sort of investing or purchasing something that is an investment. So I'm definitely seeing this. Also with the Ten of Pentacles, this is a card that's so all-encompassing within career, within home life, within like every aspect of life. You know, this card encompasses it all and basically says that we are feeling really good, we're on solid ground, and it is also a card of investing again as well, because this card signifies that whatever we're currently doing is somehow investing and growing our future and securing our future. And we feel very solid and secure and safe about it. So something that's happening within the next 5 years is going to allow you to feel more safe and secure with your money and to feel like you are investing it into the right places and that it is kind of securing your future, you know. It's, yeah, very much securing your future in some way, and we're feeling really good about it. So yeah, the Ten of Pentacles is a great card for that. It also talks about family though too. So this is, our relationships are getting better and we feel more safe and secure in our relationships to the point where we just know that they're very solid. So whatever relationships that you might have right now or the ones that are going to come in and develop within the next 5 years are going to feel very solid, and there's no fears or worries about them leaving or moving or you know, yeah, leaving your side. I think that whatever relationships that you have right now or the ones that will be developing over the next 5 years are going to be very solid, reliable people that you feel very close to and connected to in a very positive way, you know? So yeah, I think that you're going to feel honestly better than you've ever felt before in the next 5 years. I also see you again reaching a big accomplishment of some kind, and then there's somehow a bigger goal in front of you 5 years from now, and a bigger goal that you're trying to reach and attain that feels kind of new to you. It's kind of like a new venture that's going to pop up, you know, 3 to 4 years from now that you'll be working towards 5 years from now, if that makes sense. Lots of numbers that I'm throwing out. But yeah, that's going to feel really good. And I think that you are going to be very excited about it. And it just feels natural to you. It feels like the natural next step. And you feel very secure about it as well. I think you're going to feel very secure and confident about this next venture. And you're also very proud of yourself with how much you've attained and how much you've already, how far you've already come. Then the Hierophant is about being very committed to something. This is also about higher learning. So this also makes me feel like there's a new venture coming in where you are going to be learning new things that you haven't really done before, but it's somehow still kind of fitting into your life. It's not like so entirely new that you feel like you're absolutely innocent in it. I think you know a decent amount. It's somehow connected to whatever previous accomplishment you had. But then there's sort of a new accomplishment birthing out of that, where we have to really up-level ourselves again. We have to get ourselves to a new height. We have to learn a little bit more. And the Hierophant kind of signifies that. But the Hierophant also signifies that we're also very accomplished. We're also committing ourselves to something. And the Hierophant can also signify weddings. And the reason why I say that is because it's also right next to the Lovers card. And the Lovers card is about partnerships. And this could be a business partnership. This could be a really important friendship, but a lot of the times when we have so many cup cards as well as the Hierophant, I would say that this kind of indicates marriage for a lot of you, and maybe some of you are already married, and this would just kind of symbolize like things just getting stronger, more committed, maybe taking it to the next level, for example. So maybe there's like talks about like expanding your family in some way. But this could also be a business partnership too, for those of you that might be younger, not really thinking about that, or for whoever, really. It really just depends, whatever you desire in your life. It is a general reading. So again, I'm just pointing out all the different sort of things that this could represent. And it could also represent a business partnership of some kind. I also think that this resembles your connection to spirit and the universe, and sort of becoming more spiritual, more connected to your spiritual side. But at the same time, I'm definitely seeing an indication of marriage or a very strong partnership bond here with the Hierophant and the Lovers. I mean, this is just really calling to me about a strong bond, a spiritual bond, and kind of like a wedding bond happening over here. Or at least a deep partnership. Again, it could be a business partnership or a deep friendship. But the ones that I'm feeling the most is definitely like wedding vibes. And maybe even a business partnership. But yeah, big wedding vibes through those last two cards. And also with the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles, since it also resembles family, can also resemble children and weddings and deep partnerships and commitment and things like that. So with that being said, the next three cards that we have Blossoming Abundance, which makes total sense with what we were talking about earlier about the fact that I see more money and more like a bigger savings account. So this one kind of just confirms all of that. But blossoming means that you're kind of getting ready for more. And so whatever you're investing in the next 5 years, I think is kind of growing. And I think that you're going to learn what is a good investment and what is not a good investment. And sometimes you have to learn that the hard way, right? But I think that you're slowly learning what is a good investment. And I think 5 years from now, there's going to be more of that kind of blossoming into your life, more potential blossoming into your life. And whatever new kind of business venture that you're on as well, I think also has really good potential. Then we also have the Thinking Man. So yes, I think that you're going to get much deeper within your own thought, within your own clarity. I think that you're going to become more clear on a lot of things. I also see a spiritual connection here as well, because the man is holding a crystal, which is sort of esoteric since this is a card about thinking. So I think he's thinking deeper about the universe, deeper about how the universe operates. Also, you know, expanding his knowledge into just thinking deeper and getting epiphanies on things that normally he didn't get epiphanies on, you know. And I think that you're going to be getting epiphanies on the universe and how life works. I think that your knowledge point 5 years from now is going to be so much deeper and so much more wise. And I think that's also why you're gaining so much more clarity and emotional clarity, and why your life is looking like really positive in the next 5 years, is because you are a deep thinker. And I think that you're going to go through lots of learning, because I think you're really good at reflecting. You're really good at like evaluating your emotions and learning from them on your own. And because of that, because of your observations, like you observe the universe deeply, you observe the world deeply, and I think you observe people very deeply. And again, because of that, I think you are developing very well as a person, and these realizations are going to add more clarity to your life and make you honestly set up for the potential of a lot of success because of how you observe the world. Ooh, and then we have another kind of like success card hiding right behind here. Woman holding a coin. So yes, there is a lot of potential for more money and abundance kind of growing here. The thinking also makes me think that you're going to be planning a new project and investing in something. Woman holding a coin. I definitely think that you're going to be investing in something. The woman holding a coin is also about nurturing ourselves and nurturing something else. So there's something here that you are planting, like a new idea that you're planting and beginning within the next 5 years. and investing in that. And I definitely think that your money and your entire like worth, I think your net worth is growing within the next 5 years to a new level. And I think you're going to feel really proud of yourself. So yeah, definitely some deep stuff here. Group 1, this is pretty good. Also, the next 2 cards, we have compass. So compass is about shifting directions. And so yeah, that kind of like comes in what I was picking up on in the beginning here with these 2 cards. So I definitely see like possibly a shift in direction in regards to, whatever you're working on right now, whatever's normal for you right now. I see that possibly shifting a little bit and you kind of like expanding on that. And it's sort of like you attain an old goal and then you kind of begin a new one. So there's something here that's shifting. Compass can also indicate that we move as well to maybe a new place. We shift directions, we maybe move. This is all about the globe, our world, and what direction that we're headed in. So there might be a slightly new direction that you go in 5 years from now. And this could also, again, talk about maybe moving to a new city, something like that. Maybe just moving within your city. But there is this sort of change in direction here with this card. We also have, guys, this is one of the most magical cards in this oracle deck, the Magic Stream. I love this card. So this one basically talks about, again, being in that flow, sort of how we were talking about in the beginning, where it doesn't feel like there's a lot of resistance anymore because you're kind of like very in tune with your intuition, your emotions, and you kind of already know what direction you're supposed to go in, and you're going with the flow, and things feel easier than they ever have before. Money, I think, is going to flow to you easily than it ever has before. I think you're going to be so much more open emotionally, and because of that, we have this really good like partnership connection going on here, whether or not this is business or love. I feel for a lot of you that this is love personally, or possibly both, because tarot has many layers, right? So maybe we're having a business partnership on top of also, getting married and things like that. But I think you're going to be so much more open emotionally, and desires that you have are going to be flowing into your life with more ease than they ever have before. So as long as you stay on this good direction that you've sort of been on, where you're clearly reflecting, you're learning from your mistakes very deeply, because the thinking man, he really reflects on like what's gone wrong, he reflects on what's gone right, he just reflects on everything, and he observes other people too, to where he doesn't need to go through every single lesson, because he can observe certain lessons in other people by observing other people and realizing like, oh, okay, I don't want to go in that direction, so I'm going to learn from that person's mistakes, I'm going to observe this, I'm going to learn from my mistakes, I'm going to learn from that, I'm going to learn from that. So you really observe information from all over. And because of this, I think you're going to be learning so much. And through that observation, I think you're going to gain more clarity, as long as you don't overthink. Because when we overthink, we add more chaotic, confusing, cloudy energy. But as long as you keep your thinking towards observation and learning and being gentle with yourself and still kind of allowing yourself to go with the flow, I think you're going to gain a lot of clarity. It is going to help you so much in your life to really flow in the direction of your dreams, and to allow your dreams to really just flow to you as well. It's kind of like going down the stream and trusting, like, I'm going to come across a beautiful fruit tree and get my food. I'm going to come across, some fish or whatever. I'm going to come across other needs that I need in my life. It's just like when things happen at the perfect time. When you're in the zone, when things just seem to happen at the perfect time, and it's a sunny day, but we know it's supposed to rain, but the time that we're out of the house, it's just like sunny, it's beautiful, it's perfect, and then we come home and immediately it starts raining right when we walk in the door, and we're like, wow, that was like perfect timing. Now I can grab a cup of tea, watch the rain, read a book, and when you're in that perfect flow state, because you're desiring the rain, but you don't want to like walk in the rain necessarily, even though walking in the rain can be nice too. But when things just kind of flow out perfectly like that, that's my point. I think in 5 years, as long as you stay on this like really good developmental path, and you keep your goals in mind and all that kind of stuff, it really looks like things are going to start really flowing and working out for you really well. And there's just so much potential within you, and all of us veer off our path once in a while, but that's part of the learning process, right? So it's not like you have to be perfect, and none of us are, right? But it just looks like your path so far with, the type of person you are, it looks like you have a very beautiful future set up for you, and it looks like you're very much going in the right direction for a very beautiful very beautiful future. So keep on doing whatever you're doing, group number 1, because it looks like some good things are flowing into your life. The next 2 cards, we have study. Ooh, okay, this one fits in so well. The Hierophant. I was kind of picking up on like learning new things, and also with the Thinking Man, I was kind of feeling like you're learning something new. And it's sort of along the lines of what you already know, but you're up-leveling yourself. And because of that up-level, I think that there is going to be opportunity to sort of expand yourself, but through that expansion, we need to expand ourselves and expand our knowledge. So somehow you're also learning something new in the next 5 years, and you're going to be up-leveling yourself in that way. And then we also have safe travel. This one also makes me think of the Compass card where, oh yeah, and Compass can also just mean travel in general. So maybe you're also just traveling more to different areas that you've wanted to maybe see or check out. This can also talk about moving. It can also talk about a shift in direction, right? But of course, it also does mean travel. Travel in general, travel for pleasure, you know, for fun, for the aspect of learning and studying something. So yeah, you know, maybe we are getting to know other cultures more. Maybe you're doing business overseas. Maybe your travel is part of your work. Maybe travel is just for fun. You know, all sorts of different things can kind of like come up in this reading, but I definitely am seeing travel in the books for you. But things just seem to be flowing easily, and it seems like money is flowing easily. All sorts of things. It's just, there's a lot of ease here. The next 2 cards, we have Lineage of the Rose, Moved by the Goddess, Here for This, Soul Call, Gather. So yeah, I think that you're going to be much more in touch with your intuition. So you're kind of like moved in a certain direction. There's calling, like you feel like there's a calling for you, a soul call. It feels like you're also getting more in alignment with your destiny and your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing on this planet. I think that you're going to be even more in that alignment 5 years from now, and I think that you're going to have more callings that really call you to up level to the next level of your purpose, to the next level of what you're destined for, you know. And we're all in control of our own future as well, but at the same time, I think that we all have, you know, particular purposes, and those can be fulfilled in many different ways. I just think that you're going to be more in alignment with fulfilling that even more on a deeper level 5 years from now. Oh, and then this card, After the Rain. I was just kind of using an example about the rain, so it's so funny. Silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. So after the rain. If you are going through something right now, this card makes me feel like whatever your life is right now, you might be kind of going through an obstacle or a challenge of some kind. This card indicates that that is all going to be cleared and over, especially within the next 5 years. I think it's going to clear up, honestly, within the next year or two. For those of you that are listening to this, my intuition is just telling me that those of you who are listening to this, within the next year or two, you're going to be very much out of whatever kind of struggle it is that you're going through. It's a general reading, so I don't want to be too particular with the time, because I think it's going to be slightly different for each of you depending on what it is that you're going through. But what I can tell you is that in the general aspect, I think all of you will be complete that phase within 1 to 2 years of where you are right now when you're watching this. This reading is timeless. So yeah, basically I definitely see a lot of things clearing up for you and getting so much better. And like, it's like the rain that you're going through right now is also meant to just clear certain stuff from your life. So whatever you're going through, there's certain stuff that needs to be cleared. So this is a clearing point. You might realize that you need to renew a lot of things. You might realize that you're needing to, I don't know, there's things that are going through a shift and a change, and it's because you're going through a time of cleansing some old energy. So yeah, that's basically what you are going through at this moment. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our Astro dice to get some more information on this reading. We're going to take the Zodiac sign dice first to get the top 3 Zodiac signs that might be the most prominent. They're going to be the most likely, most prominent in your life in the next 5 years. So yeah, we're going to roll this 3 times. This could represent somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or it even could represent your own. So let's see what we get. Group 1. Who's the most prominent? We have Virgo being very prominent. Some prominent Virgo energy. We have Aries energy. And Scorpio. So Virgo, Aries, and Scorpio energy look like they're going to be very prominent in your life in 5 years from now. So those are the particular signs that might be the most prominent in your life. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and roll all these together now to get any last info on this reading. So we have Pluto being in the sign of Cancer in the 4th house. Ooh, so you're going through some home transformations. Transformations around home, transformations around your foundation, your security, and you are going to be purging things that don't resonate with that energy anymore. And you are going to be renewing, because Pluto also renews and aligns us to where we belong. So Pluto, a lot of people see it as a bad planet just because whenever it does come across something, it purges it, right? And purging can sometimes not be that fun, but the beautiful, amazing, magical aspect of Pluto is that it also, because it's purging stuff, it purges stuff because it's basically the renovation planet. It's here for a transformation. And it purges things in order to welcome in the new, because Pluto has a gift for you. Pluto is like, you are meant for something more, so let me just kind of get rid of the things that aren't resonating, the things that are kind of standing in the way. And it gets rid of the stuff that's standing in the way so that it can pop into your life what you are meant for and what is meant for you. And it always gives you something better than what you had. So if you're losing something that is really sentimental to you, or if you're losing something that, kind of meant a lot to you, don't worry, because it means that wasn't meant to be for you for the long haul. That was just a temporary, stepping stone or learning, karmic learning thing that we had to go through in order to prepare us for what is actually meant for us. So Pluto's, kind of going to be sort of touching your home life, your foundation and things like that. It might be pulling some things away. It could cause a little bit of chaos around your home life, a little bit around your foundation. It might pull on your emotional strings. This is also increasing your intuition, by the way. Heavily, it's going to be increasing your intuition. So certain things might be really flowing out of your life, but this is going to increase your intuition, your emotional capacity, and it is going to rebirth what you are meant to be and where you're meant to root yourself, because the 4th house is about your roots. And if you notice that certain things that you were once rooted to are being pulled from your life, it is because we are meant to be somewhere else. So Pluto is going to give you the gift of putting you where you're meant to be. And trust me, Pluto always gives something that is so much better. We might think that we're losing the best thing, but trust me, Pluto, oh my God, does it ever know what you're actually meant for? And it will bring to you something that fits you way better and that you will be more thankful for than the previous thing that it was taking away. And that's the only reason why it takes something away, is because there's something better. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading, group number 1. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to see you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 2, let's get into your reading and talk about it. So we have the 10 of Swords, we have the Sun card, we have the 3 of Swords being reversed, we have the King of Wands, and then we have another Sun card, which is crazy. There's actually 2 Sun cards in this deck, and you guys got them both, which is oddly really crazy. I just have to tell you this backstory. I've been doing, in my past few readings, for some reason there's always a pile that has multiple Sun cards. And it's just been happening so often lately that I'm just like, whoa, okay, Spirit, this is wild. And in this particular tarot deck that I'm using, there's 2 Sun cards in it, and you guys got them both. And it blew my mind. When I laid out the pile, I was like, you have to be kidding me. There's always a freaking pile in these readings lately that have multiple Sun cards. I can't get over it. It's blowing my mind. Anyway, and then we end off here with the Death card. So what we have for you, group number 2, the Sun cards add a beautiful light to this reading. And yeah, honestly, this is a good reading. There's a lot of transformation though. So let's kind of talk about what we have here. So when we start off with the 10 of Swords, this kind of indicates to me, when it's next to the Sun, that you are going to be at so much better of a place than you are right now. And you might even kind of go through something within the next 5 years, some sort of loss or some sort of maybe either a breakup or a different kind of loss, or some sort of healing, even healing from a past that you currently have. And I see tons of healing energy coming through this reading. But starting off with the 10 of Swords, maybe some of you are kind of getting, I think that this is a good thing though. Okay, so let me really explain this. What I'm really picking up on here is that there's going to be something in your life within the next 5 years that you're going to realize is not so good for you. This could be a habit that's not really good for you. This could be a relationship that's more toxic than it is loving, right? This could be a job that we've been hating that we really want to get out of. There's something here that you're not feeling and it's not really meant for you and it's not the best for you. There's something here that's really not the best for you, and you're going to be healing and transforming out of that, because the Ten of Swords is kind of when we go through this cloudy period and it just seems like there's a lot of kind of things that are weighing us down, and then all of a sudden the sun starts shining again. So in 5 years from now, you're going through this sort of major transformation, and I honestly think that this transformation might take place a little bit earlier for some of you, but then in 5 years, it's kind of like you're going to look back on those old situations and be like, wow, has my life ever like transformed and changed from who I used to be to who I am now? Like, I think that you watching this video right now, and this video is timeless, so it doesn't even matter when you're watching this, but your life right now is going to be almost unrecognizable to the life that you have 5 years from now. And it's going to be so much more positive and so much more better. Like, the fact you have 2 sun cards in this reading, like, there's so much more positivity. And even when the sun cards are reversed, by the way, the sun is still shining. It's absolutely still shining. It just might mean that there is a couple of the clouds that maybe, you know, when we think about our past or something like that, a couple of the clouds might still be there. We still feel like the intensity of what we came from. But at the same time, these sun cards are absolutely shining. The Three of Swords being reversed means that whatever was bothering you, whatever these swords were that were, you know, in your heart, that were kind of like weighing on you, a situation that was really weighing on you, all of a sudden they're falling out. They're no longer there. They're completely released. You're releasing something. This could even be something to do with health, because for some reason just the depictions on these cards make me think of like cells and things like that. So maybe if we haven't been treating our health the best, I think in 5 years from now, I think you're actually going to change to becoming a very healthy person. Like, you're going to be very focused on your health, and your health is going to completely transform and do like a 180. So yeah, I think that you're more focused on your health, your well-being, and you're also getting rid of other toxic things in your life, like careers or people or things like that, that might be sort of weighing on you in a negative way. And you're taking back control over your life. We got King of Wands energy right here. So group 2, you are stepping into so much more confidence than you've ever had before. You are stepping into your power. You are stepping into a higher level of maturity than you've ever been at, to the point where you're really assertive, and you're letting go of being a victim of something, like either like being a victim of your health, or thinking that your job has control over you, or feeling like a relationship is taking advantage of you in a certain way. You are taking back your power and no longer letting these negative things get in your way. You're no longer allowing, you know, space or time for a negative career. You're no longer allowing space or time for negative people. You're no longer allowing space or time to dishonor your health. It's like you're really starting to step into your power. King of Wands is very healthy, by the way, very active. They're very joyful, playful. So I think that you're entering a time where you're going to be very joyful and playful, and also have a lot of energy again, because the Sun card is about energy. The King of Wands is about energy. So this is a heightened level of energy and activity in your life. It'll feel like the sun is shining. It'll feel like things are going a lot more positively in your life, like a lot more, to the point where it's unrecognizable, right? And I think there might still be times when you kind of like think about your past and the old you, and you might just be like, whoa, what? I also think that you're going to be going through another major transition. I think within the next 5 years, you're going through major transitions of letting go. And those are going to cause you to reach so much more confidence and be a more assertive person who has a lot of respect for themselves and a lot of love for themselves. And you're more focused on enjoying life, and your enjoyment is going to be a priority. Your love for yourself and respect for yourself is going to be a priority. Okay. And, yeah, it's just like you're letting go of so much of that stuff, and to the point where I think, yeah, you think about your past and it's kind of just like, wow, But I definitely am seeing two different transitions here. I'm seeing, again, kind of the transition that's happening within the next 5 years that is causing you to become a lot more bright and a lot more happy. And you're going to be going in a lot more of a positive direction. You're going to have almost like a youthful energy to you again, but it's a powerful, youthful energy. It's youthful in the sense that you feel young, happy, vibrant, full of vitality, full of health and wellness. Like there's a well-being energy here. And that's like kind of like the first major transition that you go through within the next 5 years. And you're going to be more focused on that sort of more playful, youthful, healthy energy. And through this bright aspect happening in your life, through this transition where you kind of get out of this stage, you're now going to be then letting go of old things that were once maybe scarring to you, that were once maybe hurtful to you. And this positivity is going to really allow you to heal from this and let go of this and become vibrant again, become the King of Wands, which is, I think, through this sun period where you return to your vitality, your self-love is going to increase so much, which in turn increases your confidence, your respect for yourself, your energy level, your health. I think you're going to become like fun. There's a fun energy that's coming out, and you're going to be growing from that and then turning it into this kind of mature energy where you are in command of your life once again. You know, it's almost like you go through this rebirth because the sun is like this child on this elephant, or in the traditional one, it's the child on the horse, right? This transition is almost going to be like a rebirth where you feel young and youthful again. But then through this young and youthfulness, it's almost like you go through this rematuring stage, and then you mature into a completely different person than you were before. You see life in a new way. You have a much more optimistic outlook about life. And then the sun card being reversed over here, I think, is just indicating that you're going through this other transformation again. And this transformation is going to, I think, be really impactful in some of the best ways, where it's almost like you really heal yourself, but at the same time, regardless of that healing, you still take away really important lessons and learning from that. And those scars end up being your strengths. Just like how, like, when you get a scar, that scar tissue is harder and more strong than like regular skin. It's almost like the things that you've been through and the things that you've gone through are literally making you a stronger person. Just like kind of going to the gym as well. Like when we go to the gym, it can be really hard to lift things, and, you know, we're kind of like literally like ripping our muscles apart and making them, but it makes them stronger. They grow back stronger, right? So it's kind of like that same sort of concept. You're going through something really hard. It's a struggle, but it literally makes you stronger. Because anything in life, we do not become stronger through ease. Like if you go to the gym and lift weights that literally feel like nothing to you, and you just do like 5 reps with them, and then you're like, okay, I'm done. That doesn't make you like stronger at all. That was just going through ease. And if we don't work out at all and we just sit on our couch, that's also, it's easy to do that per se, but it does not improve us or make us stronger. The things that make us stronger every single time, if you want to be a strong, respectable person, every strong and respectable person goes through deep hardship, and they have to overcome that. And if they, you know, once they learn how to overcome that, because anybody, you know, we can overcome our things, and we're meant to. As we overcome that and we return back into our soul, into our love, into our heart, and we rebirth as this, you know, stronger person, the king doesn't become a king and a respectable king through ease. They become a respectable king through challenge and learning how to overcome that and become the best version of themselves regardless, right? So you, over the next 5 years, are going to be going through something like this. And you are going to have so much more respect for yourself. You're going to become a very fun person who has a very fun, optimistic view of life. And the Death card is actually a very beautiful card. It's not a bad card at all. In fact, it's one of my favorite cards in the entire deck of tarot. Every time I see Death come up, I'm just like, yes, it's such a good card, because it resembles us going through kind of like the cocoon stage of a butterfly. We were a caterpillar before. In this stage, you were a caterpillar going through maybe a bit of a struggle. because maybe you're going through that cocoon stage, and when you wrap up in a cocoon, that cannot be hard. Like that cannot be easy. I mean, that's not an easy stage for a caterpillar to all of a sudden become like a cocoon, and they're like, what is happening? I feel restricted. I feel restraint. I feel so many like I can't move. Like imagine going into a cocoon for a while and all of a sudden your body starts transforming, and like growing wings cannot feel good either. Like that sounds painful. So the caterpillar goes through that cocoon stage, and that's what the death card is, the cocoon stage. You're about to blossom your wings. So in the next 5 years, you're literally blossoming wings. You're going to be able to fly. You're going to be able to soar because of the amount of transformation that you are going through. And a lot of you are going through the heft of it right now. You're going through the heft of it right now. And over the next 5-year period, I think that you're going to be going through the process of healing from that and removing these swords and these issues and healing from that and learning from that and becoming this bright, you're rebirthing just like a butterfly. It births as a butterfly after the cocoon stage, and it's brand new, it's young, it's youthful. That's just like you. That is what you're going to be going through over the next 5 years. And I just have to say, this is a beautiful transformation that is taking place, especially since you got 2 sun cards. Like, that's double the sun, baby. Whatever you think is good right now, the significance of these, and they're also both at the same sort of like, I don't know, they're parallel to each other, right? They're at the same point of the reading. So that's also very significant. So there's going to be more balance in your life, but also what this signifies, having 2 suns, whatever you think is very positive right now, double that, and that'll be what your future looks like. Whatever you see positivity as, whatever you expect positivity to look like, double that. You deserve double that. This might be reversed right now because you don't even see what double of that could mean for you, or you maybe don't even feel deserving of it, or you don't even see how that could even happen for you. Double it. You are attaining double the joy and happiness than you can currently perceive that is available to you. In the universe, I think spirit really wants you to know that right now. I'm getting like goosebumps also just having a like sometimes spirit, like when you need to like really say something, spirit will make like bodily functions happen. And so yeah, anyway. Whew, I'm just like drinking tea here and slightly burping, but anyway. I really feel like spirit wants to tell you group number 2. So listen to this. If you're going to listen to any point in this reading, spirit wants you to know. You deserve more than you can realize, group 2. Spirit does not care about your past, what you've done, what you've gone through. Spirit cares, but at the same time, spirit is also saying it doesn't diminish the fact that you deserve so much more than you currently give yourself to realize. These 2 sun cards, spirit really wants you to take advantage of the sun. This sun has potential to shine fully if you realize that you deserve that. You've been through a lot, and the universe is not throwing that on you to mock you. The universe is not throwing that on you because that's what you deserve. You're not going through this hardship because that's what you deserve. You're going through this hardship because I think deep down you have big desires and dreams, and the universe is preparing you for that. And it's not fun to prepare for that, just as like, a bodybuilder doesn't gain its strength through ease. A bodybuilder, maybe they have a desire to become very strong and lift a huge amount of weight, but in order to lift that huge amount of weight, it's going to take a lot of weight and a lot of practice to get there. And, we go through hardships to make us stronger. So no matter what you're dreaming and desiring, I think that you're meant for so much more, and you deserve so much more. And so we were set up for, and not set up in a bad way, but we're like, our path, we kind of create it based on who we are and the mountain that we desire to accomplish, the goal that we desire to attain. Then we attract certain circumstances to us that build us into that. Just like if you want to lift, say your goal is similar to the weight of like 200 pounds. It might take some practice to be able to lift up 200 pounds. Or we could even make that any weight, like say 600 pounds. Like that's heavy. You know what I mean? Like, but it's not going to be easy at first. So if we're meant for that, if we're meant for a big goal, if we're meant for big things, we need to, you know, start practicing putting on, you know, more weight onto our thing that we're lifting until that becomes easy, and then we move up to the next level. That becomes easy, move up to the next level. This is just one of those levels. And even if it doesn't make sense right now, I really think Spirit's trying to say it's going to make sense in the future. And I think that you're going to eventually be thankful for these experiences in the future. But the main part that I really want to emphasize in this is that you are meant for so much more than you could realize. Whatever you think you want right now, double it. Not in a greedy way either. This is not saying be egotistical and be like, oh, I deserve double. This is more like you are naturally just worthy of what you desire to experience. And it's time to begin welcoming that and realizing your potential is so much more than you realize. Okay? So with that being said, let's get into our next few cards before this reading gets super, super, super long. But yeah, Spirit just really wanted to emphasize that message. We also have this is our next card, Door to Romance. If you have some toxic relationships in your life, I really think those will be ending, and you're going to be realizing what you really deserve. If you have a caged up heart right now, that's also going to be opening up and unlocking in order to welcome in romance within the next 5 years. And I think that you're going to finally realize what you really deserve when it comes to romance. We also have the card of appreciation. So this is now beginning to appreciate your past. I think this card talks about appreciating your past and also beginning to respect and appreciate yourself on a new level as well. Then we also have strategy. I think that you're going to be planning something for your future. Yeah, I really think that there's going to be planning of like a new sort of venture or project. Writing is coming through here because we have the pen thing, the quill or whatever it's called. This can deal with writing, finishing a big project, putting the work in or planning for a big project. This could also be, I'm seeing like building plans or business plans coming through in that card. So yeah. This can also be signing a contract, a really important contract. So there's some important contract within the next 5 years I think that you're going to be signing as well. For some of you, this could be a wedding contract. For some of you, this could be a business contract. For some of you, it honestly could be both, just because of the certain cards that we have coming out here. The next two cards, oh, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck, Magical Map Shifter. And we also have this map going on over here. You are going to be rewriting your future in 5 years from now. Whatever you thought that you deserved, whatever you thought your future was going to be, you are rewriting that because you are going through a transformation. You are realizing that you deserve so much more, and you are also gaining back your power and realizing that you can attain much more than you previously thought. So I think that you are going to be rewriting your future and realizing that you can actually have way bigger dreams. Way bigger dreams. Like, oh my gosh, the doors that are opening for you, huge. We also have intention. So yes, oh, and look at this. This owl is carrying like a little, whatever wish, because you know when you blow on these things, I forgot what they're called, little things that blow in the wind that I think are like dandelions that have the seeds. Anyway, these things, when you blow on them, it's like sending your wish or your intention out into the universe. You've set that wish. That wish is kind of like floating in the air right now. It is about to land somewhere, and that seed will be planted and will begin growing. So this is about just be patient, because the things that you're wishing for right now, they're floating in the wind, and they're going to plant soon. They're going to land, and they're going to plant, and they're going to grow soon. Seeds don't ever like really go bad. I mean, they're kind of always around, and when we eventually plant them, that's when they grow. So the universe in this card is basically saying they've heard your wish, and the egg that it's sitting upon talks about the fact that it is growing right now. And there's a seed, it's waiting to be cracked open. it's going to be cracked open after kind of, you know, getting through this stage, taking back your confidence and power and assertiveness and putting your foot down for certain things, creating proper boundaries in your life between you and toxic people or things or places or whatnot. You're going to be so much more connected to the future that you're meant for. And I think it's going to be waiting to be kind of cracked open in 5 years from now. It's like you're cracking open a new egg, you're cracking open a new life, and birthing a new idea, a new project. So yes, beautiful. The next two cards, you have the card of inspiration. So you're going to get much more in touch with your creativity. There could also be a lot more inspiration flowing into your life, especially since we had the King of Wands with the sun and all that. This is opening up the door for more creativity, a heightened level of energy as well. And you know when we just feel inspired, it feels so good. So instead of feeling this old way, I think there's going to be a lot more magic inspiration flowing into your life, and you're going to have a lot of ideas. So many ideas, in fact, to where you feel very inspired about life and there's a lot that you want to do. You're going to be writing a lot down, planning for a lot, and blowing that into the wind and kind of creating that. Ooh, we also have the card of beauty. So I think that you're also going to be so much more confident in who you are physically as well. That's the first kind of like message that I got when looking at this, is that you're going to feel so much more confident in your physical appearance as well. I also think your life is going to be much more beautified in general. It's kind of like there's a touch of magic and inspiration and beauty within your life in general. And I think that's also bringing up this inspiration energy. It's like life feels beautiful again. That's like the huge message I'm getting in this. And it's also like you feel much more confident in your own beauty as well, and you're seeing much more beauty within you. And I think even with the focus of becoming healthier as well, you might notice that parts of you transform too to reflect that healthiness. Like a lot of the times when we're eating negatively or we're not taking care of ourselves in the proper way, you know, we can get like breakouts, or, you know, it can reflect in multiple different ways within our skin, our hair, our nails, and like all sorts of things. But when we become really healthy and we start really focusing on our health, that reflects, you know, our skin begins glowing and our hair is growing faster and our nails are stronger and healthier and whatnot. So I think in many different ways, this is also reflecting the new health aspect that you're going to be at. You're going to be much more healthy, and it's going to reflect within your appearance as well and within your life. Life just feels good because when we eat right too, we have more energy and having more energy shows, and we smile more and all sorts of things. The next two cards that we have Sub Rosa, hidden in plain sight mysteries, learning and teaching. So I think new doors are going to open for you that you're going to realize have kind of been there all along, and it's just really up to you to just, you know, grab hold of that future. So yeah, learning and teaching. I think that you're going to learn, honestly, quite deep wisdom and take opportunities that were kind of waiting in front of you all along. We also have the card of held. So sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. Ooh, you are being supported by spirit through this whole phase. Spirit is literally beside you, and they're just like, yo, we got you, whatever you want, we are guiding it, we are here. It's just like an energy, right? It's not like spirits are literally like sitting beside you watching you sleep or something, but like it's kind of just like the energy there feels you, right? And so when we're putting our intentions out there, spirit, the energy of spirit, the energy of the world is conspiring to create that to happen for you. There's a guidance. They're holding you through this. You're being held through this. Like, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Okay? So with that being said, we're going to take our Astro dice to get any last information on this. We're going to roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent or common in your life in 5 years from now. So let's see what we get. This could either be a reflection of someone's sun, moon, or rising sign, or it could even be a reflection of your own. So we have Virgo coming through, we have Gemini coming through, and Libra. So Virgo, Gemini, Libra energy are the most prominent signs that we have in your reading. And with that being said, let's go ahead and roll all these together to get any last info. So we have Uranus being in the sign of Aries in the 11th house. So there's a lot of change in your friend group that's going to happen, and some change in your bigger purpose as well, because the 11th house can also be like our purpose, our calling. It can also deal with travel. It can also deal with ideas way outside of the box. So Uranus and the 11th house are really similar in a way. So this is a lot of change, a lot of unexpected stuff, learning new things. This can also be new friendships. And the fact that we have Aries here, Aries is like the birth of a new season, a new age, and like the beginning of something. So I really think that this is pointing out beginnings of new friendships, new relationships, the beginning of maybe a new cycle or kind of purpose for you that's emerging. Lots of things are going to change, and I really think getting heavily, like your friend group is going to shift and change. You might even be meeting or making a friend that's not really from this country originally, or from your particular country, wherever you live in the world. They could be of a different background or culture, because the 11th house deals with worldly stuff, and so a lot of the times it can indicate like friends from different backgrounds or different cultures. So yeah, it can indicate that, or just, you know, new friends in general, new friend groups, all sorts of things like that. So that is what we have here for you, my beautiful group number 2. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 3, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group number 3, welcome to your reading. So we start off with the 4 of Wands here, then we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the 4 of Cups, the Judgment, Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords here. So beginning this reading, in 5 years from now, it looks like there's going to be something that you are celebrating. The 4 of Wands is sort of a completion where we are celebrating something. As you can see in the background of this card, it kind of looks like they just finished some sort of event or celebration, big accomplishment, something like that. So in 5 years from now, I really see that you are going to be accomplishing something that you've set out to accomplish. Maybe it's something that you kind of foresee right now, and I see in 5 years from now, you're gonna have accomplished that and celebrated that, and it feels like something really big. We have Venus here, which is usually connected to, excuse me, our passions or our love. Being associated with Aries as well talks about a new beginning. So we are somehow completing an old chapter and we are beginning a new chapter. So this could talk about like a graduation, a wedding, landing a job that you really want, buying a house, having a baby, like all these sorts of different like accomplishments where we're closing out an old chapter and beginning a new chapter. So sometime around 5 years from now, or within the next 5 years, I really see a big accomplishment happening and you reaching a really big goal that you've probably been thinking about for a while. And we can see that it was just like, you know, it's probably a celebration with many different people, or like other people are like really proud of you for this, all sorts of stuff like that. And it also symbolizes like a new foundation beginning for you, just because the 4 symbolizes a new foundation being laid out. So whatever this completion of this old chapter is, opening up a brand new chapter where you're rooting yourself into a new life, into a new world. It's like, you know, a whole new chapter beginning with a whole new foundation. And it's kind of like a life, it changes your life a little bit, you know, whatever this completion is, whatever this achievement is a sort of celebration that's going to shift your life. And it's very interesting how these 2 cards are almost very similar in their background and their scenery, like, and they're right next to each other, even though they're very different cards. So that to me symbolizes like the dawning of something new right here, just because of the colors of these cards and what's going on in the background. So within the next 5 years, I really think that there's going to be this dawning, this new beginning, kind of chapter opening for you. The Queen of Pentacles symbolizes that we're feeling very accomplished, and we're also feeling very independent and very in control of our own lives, and we feel like we're sort of like the leader of it, and we're able to, I don't know, just have more control and balance over our life, because the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who handles their health, their well-being, their career, other people, they have enough time for love, and they really have their ish together, basically. And so I'm also seeing that in 5 years from now, you're going to feel very well accomplished and very independent, and like you're in control and you're leading your own life. And it feels very balanced, and it feels like you're on top of things. So I think that wherever you are right now, you are going to begin to become more accomplished, more independent, more in balance, and feel like you have more control over your life than you ever have before. And it's just like this whole new kind of chapter opening up where you feel like, ooh, like I feel more independent in my career. I'm feeling more independent in what I'm doing and how I'm living. And it really feels like you have many things out in front of you that you're delegating and doing and spending your time on, but it still feels very well in balance, and you feel very whole because of it. You feel very complete because of it. Yeah, and I just feel like it feels very balanced. It is also next to the Hierophant, which sometimes symbolizes that we're learning something new, or we are even at a place where we are now teaching and we feel much higher up than we ever have before. So I feel like you're going to feel like you're at a higher position, and I think you're going to be very proud of your knowledge and how far you've come, whereas in previous years it kind of feels like maybe we felt like we've known a lot, but at the same time maybe we've second guessed our skills a little bit sometimes, or maybe we've felt like we still have a long way to go before we feel comfortable really teaching something or like saying that we're experts at it. When these two cards come up together, it kind of feels like this expert energy of where you have a lot of confidence in your skill set and your ability to be like, I'm really good at this, and I feel confident in being able to like teach others what I know, you know. And it's not saying that you absolutely will become a teacher, but I'm definitely getting like teacher energy from this, where it just feels like if people come to you for advice, you really feel confident in your ability to give them advice about how to get where you've gotten, because you've learned a lot along the way and you have a lot up your sleeve to really offer and give to others, which is making me feel that sort of teacher energy. So even though not all of you will become teachers necessarily, again, I just think that people who desire to be in your position, you know, will ask you certain questions, and you're going to feel very well equipped to answer those questions and offer guidance to others. And I do think that you will be having people coming to you being like, okay, how did you do this? How did you accomplish this? How do I get to where you've gotten? This could also symbolize a promotion or getting higher up in your career than you've ever reached before. I'm definitely seeing higher up in your career, or making more money somehow, having a better income, or being very proud of your house too. This could be owning a house and purchasing a house and feeling very independent about it and feeling very like, whoo, I've gotten like ownership over this, I've attained this. It's a big desire that you maybe wanted to create. And maybe there's like a business venture that's coming out here that you've been really having a goal for. Or again, it could just be entering a new chapter where it feels like you're making more money than you ever have before, but it really feels like you're on top of things, and things are well balanced, you know. And I really think that you're feeling better than you ever have before in your life. We also have the Four of Cups right here, which is interesting because this card can symbolize that perhaps in the past we've been too scared to take opportunities, or we've been brushing off a certain opportunity, or we've been brushing off a certain idea because maybe we didn't feel good enough. Or we've been kind of focused on the lack, you know, in current or previous years. What I see in 5 years from now is that you're actually taking hold of an opportunity that's been waiting there for a long time. And I see you taking it because of this up level in confidence, and that you're finally feeling like independent. You finally feel worthy of taking on this opportunity and this new idea, and finally executing it and going for it. So within the next 5 years, I see you really having that sort of confidence to go and challenge yourself to a new direction, something that you probably never thought that you would ever be worthy of, or something that you never thought would be a direction for you or an opportunity for you. You never thought that that door would open for you. There's something here where you never even thought that a certain door would ever be a possibility for you, that is going to be opening within the next 5 years, and you're going to be taking that And then we have Judgment right here, which is saying that deep down inside, you've probably felt like a deeper calling for yourself, but maybe we were so unsure about how we would ever attain something. We were so unsure about how something could ever fall on our lap or what the path would be to get there. That path is really starting to unveil itself really soon. And within the next 5 years, I really see you walking down this new path and realizing like, oh, there's a deeper purpose for me. And I finally feel like I am worthy of attaining that and doing it and going for it. And look at when we feel like we're not worthy, all of a sudden we're taking on that opportunity and we're beginning it. Because the Four of Cups is represented traditionally by a man sitting staring at 3 cups that are empty and kind of like overturned, and he's disappointed with the cups that are in front of him. So there could be certain aspects of your life right now that you are maybe too hard on yourself with, or being too harsh with yourself, or disappointed in. And the interesting thing about that card, though, is right behind him, there's a hand reaching out from the heavens, offering him a fulfilling cup, a cup that's fully full, a cup that he's been asking for. So that basically says that your perspective offers you what you see is available to you, right? So if your perception is constantly focused on your disappointment and what you currently lack, or your current focus is perceiving that of which you're disappointed about, when we're looking in that direction, that's all we see. Because our perception is very like single focused, right? We cannot see behind ourselves, nor can we see what's behind another object. We don't have like 4D view, right? We see in the 3D, so we only see where our perception is pointed at. That card basically shows that if we change our perception to perceiving possibility, and we change to a more optimistic, hopeful perspective, we'll all of a sudden perceive of opportunities that have been there all along, but we were just looking in the wrong direction. So within the next 5 years, I see you changing your perception, and you're going to begin to start to see all these opportunities. And your perception of yourself is going to be a big influence in this. I have to say, your perception of yourself. If you don't see yourself as worthy, or if you don't see yourself as being able to attain something, you won't perceive of the opportunity to do it, or you won't even perceive of your ability to do it, even if you harbor the ability deep within you. There's a deeper purpose calling for you, and that's what the Judgment is showing, but we need to take off our old masks in order to see our true soul and our true potential. So currently, I think you see less of yourself than you really are. You don't see as much of your potential as others do, and you don't see as much of your potential as is actually there. The Judgment talks about this shedding of skin, basically, and it's the shedding of false skin, like what our ego's been telling us, or what we were raised to believe, kind of like the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it basically shows how having a rich parent will change your perception to be more open to opportunity for money, rather than having a poor dad that maybe looks at money in a scarce way. Causes the perception, just like this card, is the perception. We are currently cloaked by our previous perceptions, and maybe we've been talked down to a lot, or maybe we've been humbled a lot, and we don't see our full potential anymore, and we kind of think less of ourselves than we really are. The Judgment here is basically saying that within the next 5 years, you are going to be shedding your old skin, kind of like a snake. You're shedding this old perception of yourself. And by shedding this old perception, all of a sudden there's an opportunity that maybe you've always desired, but never thought of yourself worthy enough to take it, or to even try to go for it, because maybe we've been in a lack mindset, thinking like, well, I better just be happy with what I have because the other thing's too far out of reach, basically, right? That skin is shedding, baby. In the next 5 years, you are shedding that old belief. You're shedding these limitations that you've had on yourself, and bam, you are going to go for it. Ace of Pentacles. It's like you're grabbing hold of this new opportunity, the one that's been like waiting for you, the one that you've felt so called to all along, which, by the way, I have to tell you, those of you who are listening to this pile, my goodness, do I ever have a message for you? So basically, any desire that you have within has been placed there because it's meant for you. It is meant for you to explore and go down. It's either going to end up being a stepping stone, or it's going to be, like a thing that you're supposed to pursue or whatever. But we're supposed to pursue our desires. They're put in there, they're put in place. We're all born with certain desires, and we're all born with different desires. That's the thing. We're all born with slightly unique desires, and we're all born with slightly unique skill sets. And we're supposed to go after those desires. They're like your internal GPS that shows you, it's like a roadmap of where you're supposed to go. That's why you have desires. Your desires were not put in place to mock you on your earth journey. Your desires were not put here in order for the universe to mock you and be like, ha ha, you can't get that. That's not why we have desires. We have desires because that is your soul being like, here's your guidance system. Here's what we came for. This is what we're supposed to be going for right now, and our desires do develop and change over time. So as we pursue our old desires, as we learn more, and as we, walk down a certain path, we're going to realize new paths are opening up, because as we walk down one path, we start to see new veering off trails, right? And our emotions tell us which one to go down. So it's okay if your desires change. It's okay if they develop, it's okay if one desire that you had has changed and now you're desiring something else. That's okay. That's fine. That is part of your stepping stone. That was part of your path, right? Because you would have never gotten to this new desire without the previous one, right? We would have never gotten to it without exploring the previous stuff and then attaining that and learning what we've learned and then developing and then having new desires. That is how your soul evolves. That is your personal evolvement. We're not supposed to dismiss those and just be like, okay, let's just settle for less. That is one of the learning lessons that we have in life, is to learn that our emotions are put in place, our desires are put in place because we're meant to pursue them. And we have the potential to really do anything on this planet. There's been people from all sorts of circumstances. There's been blind musicians. There's been, people with all sorts of different backgrounds that have attained their desires or have followed their passions regardless of whatever their starting point was, which means we all have the potential to do it. We just need to have the willpower, the determination, and the belief that we can do that. And back to your reading, what I see is happening for you over the next 5 years is this unfoldment and this development of you shedding these old limitations that you've had on yourself, right? Because people cannot step in your way. We're all born with slightly unique souls and slightly unique desires that even if someone else has a similar desire to you, it doesn't mean that they're standing in your way. It doesn't mean that there's going to be competition. It just means that we need to follow that desire and watch how it develops for us personally, because each and every one of us has our own unique imprint. The judgment, you are having a spiritual awakening. You are learning these deep things within the next 5 years, and you are breaking out of your old mold and your old view of yourself, and you are going to start to see your real, truest potential. And because of this new switch in your potential, all of a sudden you're going for something that you've always wanted to go for. And there's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of potential here, and it's really up to you how this really plays out and turns out. It's all about you having the confidence and willpower to go after those desires. And in the next 5 years, you're definitely taking on that opportunity. We also have the Knight of Swords here. It's going to be a very spontaneous shift and change in your life within the next 5 years. And you are going to be almost like just cutting away all of these old limitations, and you're just like, you know what, I've had enough, I want to go for it. It's like this confidence just all of a sudden just peaks and rises within you, and you are starting to realize your truest potential, and you're starting to actually see that. There's going to be some sort of major catalyst of that too with the Judgment card. This talks about that there's a major catalyst or calling, or somebody's going to speak something to you that just all of a sudden awakens within you this big realization. And the Judgment is a very powerful transition and change. It's really when we're about to close an old chapter and we sort of really wake up out of our old molds and we have this rebirth and we come out completely clear again, where we get to redevelop our belief systems and see ourselves in new ways and be seen authentically as we really are. So all of a sudden you're going to see your own authenticity. You're going to be able to see your own soul, and because of that, you're seeing what you're really meant for, and there's going to be a huge change in direction here. And again, it's cutting away old belief systems. This is all of a sudden seeing yourself in a new way too. The Knight of Swords, it's like you're really seeing clearly what you want. And the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving card in all of the tarot. So this is going to be a very quick decision. And it's going to transform your life so largely, to be honest. So lots of different things happening. within the next 5 years. So let's take out some other cards to get some more information. We have the Thinking Woman card. So there's something that either you're debating or thinking about within the next 5 years. And I think it's this whole situation. I also think that you're going to be reflecting a lot, because this card talks about deep reflection. And look at the butterfly that talks about the transformation that you're going to have. So I think you're going to be starting to reflect a lot deeper, and through that reflection you're going to be learning so much. Like Judgment, are you ever learning deep things that are going to help you excel, and they're going to help you kind of birth into these new belief systems that allow you to let your light fully shine, basically, you know? You also might take up a new interest and start learning very deeply about it, and really start to immerse yourself into it within the next 5 years. We also have contract. So contract can symbolize like actual contracts, and Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Swords can also symbolize kind of like contracts beginning and things like that. So that can symbolize that. This is also symbolizing more balance in your life, and sort of like cutting away the things in your life that are holding you back, and also about putting up proper boundaries in your life so that you don't allow people to walk all over you, for one thing. Also, boundaries can help us stay on our correct path. Maybe we're going to cause certain boundaries and cut away things in our lives that were once holding us back. This could be old belief systems that were holding you back, right? It's also interesting that justice is always blind, right? Because there's always a balance, there's always give and take, and that's why it's represented by the scales, because anytime something happens, there's always two sides, right? There's always a balance. And so this is kind of like representing that you might have two different kind of like swaying sides within you, but one of them is more powerful. One desire is more powerful. One might desire to stay safe, and one might desire to challenge and go for the gold. Which one calls to you more deeply? And I think it's going to be switching. I think you're going to less desire to always stay the same, and you're going to more desire to kind of like go in this new direction over the next 5 years. We also have Angel of Love. Ooh, so for one, I see this as being self-love sort of becoming a lot more prominent in your life. So for one, I see this as self-love. I also see this as you have a passion that you really desire to follow, and there's a desire to actually fully execute that and go for that, because when we deeply love something or are passionate about something, you know, that we feel like is meant for us, we're supposed to go towards that. And so I think that you are going to begin to go towards things that you're very passionate about. Love can also symbolize that love is coming into our lives as well. Although there's not really a lot of like love cards within the tarot that we have. This is mostly about you kind of following a deep passion that you have, but it can also talk about a relationship on some level. So if that's something that you've been trying to manifest into your life, that can also be another aspect of this reading. The Four of Wands can also sometimes symbolize weddings and things like that. So when connected to the love card, it can also symbolize that. And justice can also sometimes symbolize a courtroom and signing a marriage document. So sometimes it can indicate those things if that's something that you've been trying to manifest in your life. Although for the most part, I'm seeing this as mostly career oriented. So yeah, and following your passions. The next two cards that we have the Talisman. So there's something here that's like calling you in a direction. There's a direction that you really want to go in. It's almost like there's something that's really important to you that's kind of calling you to follow. And I also think you're going to start to notice a lot more symbols in your life, like symbols and signs that are kind of guiding you in a particular direction. We also have the Gentle Gardener. Ooh. This card always reminds me of the saying that it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? And so this is kind of like realizing your truest potential and wanting to reach your highest potential, right? So it's better to be a warrior in a garden. So a peaceful warrior, basically, like have the ability to stand up for yourself and fight when you need to, but decide to be peaceful with that power. You know, decide to be peaceful. Just decide to, you know, I want to be a gardener, but you have the ability to stand up for yourself and create boundaries when needed, rather than being a gardener who's just like a gentle person at heart, and then accidentally finds himself in war, because life brings all sorts of different circumstances our way. And so what I think that you are going to become over the next 5 years is becoming the gentle gardener. You are going to become the warrior within the garden rather than the gardener within the war. So rather than having all of these massive big challenges in front of you that seem impossible to overcome because we're just a gardener in a war, I really think that there's going to be certain things that you go through that cause you to realize your own true power and to take hold of that power within you. And then, you can choose to be peaceful, but have a very strong backbone and have a very unwavering, powerful sense of yourself, right, Libra? So it's kind of like, we're not trying to cause fights, but we're very capable of having boundaries and standing up for ourselves, because this Libra contract justice sort of card that we have here is very much about creating proper boundaries in your life so that you don't get walked all over, and so that you actually, fully realize your self-respect and your love for yourself, and have a strong backbone, but decide to be peaceful with that strong backbone rather than being gentle with no backbone. Right? So there's a little bit of a difference there. And I think that you're going to be sort of stepping into a more powerful version of yourself within the next 5 years. The next two cards, we have the card of success. So you will be reaching something for sure, especially since we had the Four of Wands to start us off. So there's something that you're going to be successful at and achieve. There's a kind of desire or goal that you have in mind at the moment that will be achieved within the next 5 years. And then you're also going to be taking up a new opportunity that's going to offer the potential for more success in your future. Ooh, and then we also have the card of passion, which is kind of like this card right here, the Angel of Love. So there's definitely this recurring theme of following what you're passionate about over the next 5 years. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. You're definitely going to be following your passions and sort of allowing yourself, giving yourself the time and the ability and the belief in yourself to fully take on that direction and that challenge, I guess, if you will. So yes, also passion and love, it can symbolize that there's going to be some romance in your life, or a heightened romance, bringing romance to a new level in your life, all sorts of things like that. So with that being said, the last two cards before we get into our Astro Dice, we have the Sophia card right here. Oh, excuse me for a second. I'm going to go grab my doorbell. I'll be right back. All right, guys. So back to this. We have the Sophia card. Divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, destiny. So yes, getting in alignment with your destiny. The divine plan of the universe is that you kind of follow what you desire and you chase what you're passionate about, because we're supposed to attain our desires this lifetime. That's why they're there. We're supposed to follow them and kind of like live the experiences that we desire to experience. And basically this is saying that this is part of the divine plan, is like this following of this, obviously gaining more wisdom, intelligence within, like just really following your own intuition, your own gut on where you're supposed to go in this life and following those passions. We also have the card here of open, say yes, expand through the extremes, trust life. So through the extremes, we're supposed to expand. They're supposed to make us stronger. They're supposed to help us realize our potential. Just like going to the gym. I use this example all the time because it's like the perfect example. But like going to the gym, it's hard to lift weights, you know what I mean? And if you want to like actually gain muscle or, challenge yourself, you have to lift stuff that's heavy and it's hard and it sucks and it feels like, like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean? But it causes you to expand. Your muscles begin to expand. You're able to lift more and more and more and more. So if you're wanting to attain a big dream, the universe is going to throw at you the weights that you need so that you can bulk up to the strength of attaining that big desire, that big dream. So this is about staying open, saying yes, expanding through the extremes and trusting life that it is bringing you where you need to go. A lot of the times when people are manifesting big things, they will attract to them experiences which make them stronger so that they're able to attain and hold that dream. And this is about trusting life instead of being like, oh my God, all these hardships, I'm never going to make it through, da 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 da. That's how I feel when I go to the gym too, so I get you. Like, you know, you go to the gym and you're just like really pushing yourself, you know, and you shouldn't push yourself too much, right? We need to take breaks and like have time to catch our breath and whatnot and then get back to it, just like in life, right? So we need to be patient with ourselves, patient with the universe, but also trust that we are getting there. We are attaining our goal. It's just going to take some heavy lifting in order to get there. You know what I mean? So like, that's kind of like what these cards are talking about is, you know, the challenges that you've gone through life are going to really start to pay off. And we just need to trust life that it is bringing us in the direction that we've been asking to go in. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our Astro Dice. We're going to roll it 3 different times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in your life within the next 5 years. This is going to be a reflection of either somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see what we get. For you, we got some Taurus energy, Libra energy, Libra energy again. Libra's going to be prominent, that's for sure. So Taurus, Libra, and it's interesting, we also had this, which is connected to Libra, and then this Astro Dice just fell on the floor somewhere. Where did it go? Oh my gosh, guys, it literally landed on Libra again. You gotta be kidding me. We need to roll it again. So clearly lots of Libra energy. And Pisces. So Taurus, Libra, Pisces energy are going to be most likely the most prominent in the next 5 years. So let's go ahead and roll all these together now to get any last info on this reading. Okay, we have the sun being in Sagittarius in the 6th house. All right, so the 6th house is about career. The Sagittarius is about travel. It's also about expansion, shooting and aiming for your desires, right? That's why it's the arrow, but it is also about expansion. So we're shooting our arrow to get further. We're going further. We're going a distance that normally we wouldn't be able to attain or reach otherwise. And the arrow is able to allow us to do that. So this is thinking beyond, wishing beyond what you currently know is possible and being able to attain that and reach that, being able to expand beyond your expectations. So the sun is about your soul, your destiny is beginning to expand and shoot for more regarding your career, your routine, your health, your fitness goals. It is also the house that does include like going to the gym and all those different things and challenging yourself in that way and getting healthy. So that's also interesting. So some of you guys also might be shooting for more and have bigger goals regarding your health or your body or your fitness and things like that. But this can also deal with travel or allowing more freedom within your work life as well. Having also more fun within your work and being able to be living passionately through your routine and your career and your life. Also, if career is like not in the ballpark for you, I know some people either don't work, don't have to work, or whatever. The 6th house also deals with our routine. So our routine might be a lot more free. We might have a lot more freedom in our routine in the next 5 years and feel like we can do things spontaneously. Sagittarius is more spontaneous and doesn't have such a set particular routine. So I think that is also going to be part of what is changing in the next 5 years for you, group number 3. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 4, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's hop right into it. All right, so group 4, here's what we have for you. So we start off with the Ace of Cups here, then we have the 4 of Cups, then we have the Wheel of Fortune, then we have the Princess of Discs, which is basically the Page of Pentacles, we have the 9 of Swords, and then the 10 of Cups over here. So we're surrounded by some cup cards. This is attaining emotional fulfillment. As we can see here, we kind of start off, you know, with like maybe a certain desire. We're going through maybe a feeling of slight emptiness at some point, and then bam, we get some manifestation going. So first off, what I'm sort of seeing here over the next 5 years is that there's like some sort of desire that you might have right now, or a desire that maybe is going to develop, just sort of like an inspiration. This could even be like the beginning of a romance or a relationship. This could be the beginning of a certain passion or desire that you want to attain, like more emotional fulfillment. So somehow this desire is attached to your kind of like emotional needs, your emotional fulfillment and things like that. And it looks like in like the current time, or within like maybe the next like few months, it maybe feels like maybe there's a delay in attaining something that we desire, or we feel like it's taking a long time, or we feel like we're just kind of like waiting around for it and we don't really see the opportunity of it like heading our way quite yet. Or we're feeling like is it actually ever going to happen? Or we're kind of currently looking at what we do not have versus the possibility of actually like attaining it. We're kind of just like maybe observing and noticing what we don't have, and we're really desiring to kind of change that in order to reach a new level of emotional fulfillment. But I also see with this Wheel of Fortune coming up that there's going to be a lot that's about to shift in your life over the next 5 years, because the Wheel of Fortune is sort of the change of your fortune. The wheel keeps turning, right? And so if you've been going through a time of where things were maybe going slightly downhill in certain aspects of your life, or feeling like maybe we were lacking in certain areas and it was hard to like get certain areas going and certain areas to be fulfilled, that is going to change, right? Because this is all about the balance of life, and the wheel again keeps on turning. So at one point maybe it was like going this way, but as it gets down here, all of a sudden the wheel keeps turning and now we're going upwards, right? So it's kind of like the cycles of life, the nice ebb and flow that we have in life. And so honestly seek sort of like a balance between certain desires are being realized and certain desires we're kind of like waiting for, like over the next like current sort of moment that you have in front of you, and the next like immediate sort of future that you have. But that's all going to be changing over the next 5 years. And all of a sudden we have this Wheel of Fortune right next to the Page of Pentacles, which is the attainment of something. All of a sudden we're kind of getting a more tangible idea of how we can maybe attain certain desires that we have and how we can actually make them happen. Whereas before we're sort of looking at like, oh, I desire this, but I'm so lacking it. So a lot of the times we actually have a really hard time manifesting things when we're desiring them so bad. You know, you have clearly a desire that you want, and this could be a desire for love, for example. This could be a big, deep desire for love, or a desire for a certain thing that's going to emotionally fulfill you, whether that be a career goal or like a certain other goal that you have. There's a desire that you have, but you currently are noticing the lack of it, which is why you're desiring it, right? Because a lot of the times our desires stem from a place because we want to feel something emotionally. We desire something because it's going to make us feel a certain way, right? And when we are noticing the fact that we don't have it, we currently are reinforcing not having it, because manifestation works upon whatever you feel the most, whatever you're noticing the most and observing, you are going to create more of that. So in order for you to manifest, we have to already kind of welcome in the feelings of already having it, and then that is what draws it to you, because what you think about, you bring about. What you focus on, that's where energy flows. You know, where your attention goes, energy flows. So if our attention continues going upon desire, we're currently noticing the lack of it, and therefore it's creating more of that. So if you currently felt like, you know, you're kind of getting nowhere with something that you've been trying to manifest in your life, this is changing over the next 5 years. Let me promise you that, because first off, we're just noticing, you know, the emotional side of it. The cups talk about our emotions. They're not anything physical yet. It's more of like a desire, a passion, a feeling that we're having internally. And this wheel is spinning. So this wheel is now going in a positive direction, because these two cards basically show that we're desiring something, but we currently are just noticing that it's not in our life right now. That's shifting. And all of a sudden, the Page of Pentacles is a physical appearance of it into your life, and you're now holding the sort of like birth of it, the first sort of like forecomings of it, basically. So if this is a relationship, for example, over the next 5 years, your Wheel of Fortune, your fortunes are changing, and all of a sudden you are now getting the beginning has begun, basically. Like, it has started manifesting into your life, the physical actuality of it, because the pentacles are things that are physical. So whatever it is that you're desiring right now, that you're noticing that you're lacking in your life over the next 5 years, things are switching for you, and now all of a sudden you're attaining it instead of feeling like you're lacking it and it's a repetitive pattern or cycle. Because the Wheel of Fortune also talks about the fact that we might feel like we're stuck in a certain pattern or cycle. Maybe we feel like we're in a pattern or cycle where we're not having a lot of luck in romance, or we feel like we're stuck in a pattern and cycle of where we're not really attaining our emotional desires. Who is that ever changing for you, group number 4? Because there we have it. The Page of Pentacles is the physical manifestation of this. Although it is also the beginning physical manifestation of it, it is the manifestation of it nonetheless. And this is going to start to ease a lot of your worries, because we have the 9 of Swords right here. At least I think this is, yeah, the 9 of Swords. I'm not wearing my glasses right now, but yeah. So basically the 9 of Swords is when we're overthinking something and we're constantly noticing the lack of it, and we're feeling a lot of stress because of it, and we're feeling like kind of weighed down, or there's a lot of thoughts running through our head, that is going to start to heal, okay? Like, that's going to start to actually go away, and the pattern that you used to have is beginning to break. Although when you first begin getting it, you might have certain worries that it's just going to like fall away and fall back into an old pattern, but it's not gonna do that. Also, sorry, my doorbell's ringing. Let me go grab that. Okay, sorry. Basically, everyone's been ringing on my doorbell this morning. But yeah, so you might have certain like fears that it's gonna be the same as it always was, and that it's all of a sudden gonna like fall out of your life or something like that. There's certain fears that might come up like that, of you wondering like, oh, it's just gonna turn out to be the same cycle as it always is. That is shifting and that is changing because of this new manifestation. This is something new. This is not like a reoccurrence of the old anymore. This is something new that is actually going to turn out being very promising for you. This is the 10 of Cups is like the fulfillment of something that we've been desiring for a long time, and it's offering so much emotional fulfillment. In fact, this is the top card of like full emotional fulfillment. Like, this is the biggest card that resembles like the entirety of emotional fulfillment, basically. So there's something that you have been desiring, that you've had a pattern around that's been lacking in your life. It is going to manifest. You might notice at first there might be a couple of different fears around it, like it's going to fall apart, like I was saying, but it's not going to. The thing is it's going to manifest, and it's going to stick around, and it's going to blossom into that full emotional fulfillment for you. And it's going to be great. So the tides are changing for you, my love. The tides are definitely going to be changing within the next 5 years, and you won't have to deal with that pattern or cycle anymore. You're going to be breaking that cycle and reaching the actual emotional fulfillment that you've been desiring to reach for a while. And all of a sudden you're going to have this eye of abundance. You're all of a sudden going to see opportunity and abundance around you and notice how good things are, because as you can see, the shape of these cups almost look like an eye, and then all of a sudden there's these blooming flowers in it. That symbolizes that your perception is going to be that of abundance and that of love and growth and the flowering of something and the opening of something. Like, you're going to be opening up more than you ever have before. And it's honestly just going to be beautiful. So with that being said, let's get into our next few cards here. We have the Angel of Balance. So everything has its balance, right? And I think you're going to finally find that your life is balancing out so much more, because maybe you've attained other dreams, but then others for some reason like just haven't. And we have this like maybe lack of balance. Like, maybe career is really good, but then our love life is not, or maybe our love life is really good, but then our career wasn't, right? So now all of a sudden things are finally balancing out, and we're finally having like emotional fulfillment throughout our whole life, and bringing that balance of all of our cups being full, rather than some of them being full and some of them not being full. All of a sudden there's going to be a balance between all the cups, and we feel like all the aspects of our lives have fulfillment and have that beautiful balance. We also have Door to Spirit. So this can also indicate that you are making a closer connection to your spiritual side and your spiritual beliefs too. So this can be like a new calling coming in, or it could even be like the manifestation of something, and finally we're opening up the door to realize how to make this happen energetically. Like, the energy is just flowing into our lives that we need, that kind of like leads us on that path. And our intuition is like getting stronger too. This can be your intuition heightening, new doorways opening that we didn't even perceive of before, because the spirit world is the energetic world, right? And we don't really see energy necessarily. You can perceive energy, but it's a lot more subtle and harder to see, right? So this is almost like a door that's hard to see that's going to be opening, and that's almost like the Four of Cups as well, because the Four of Cups basically indicates that we're currently looking at everything that's not happened for us rather than realizing the opportunity that sits right behind us. It kind of takes a while to explain that concept, but I'm just going to try to explain it really quickly the best I can. Basically, our perception is very narrow focus, right? And so when we're focused upon what has not yet happened, when we're focused on what we're disappointed in or what is unfulfilling to us and what hasn't been fulfilled yet, and we're focused on that lack, that is our perception. Therefore, our perception is going to perceive of only things that surround that. Whereas behind us is where exists opportunity, solution, desire, that are actually desire, fulfillment. Like the fulfillment and the solutions to everything exist in the opposite perception, right? Because when we're perceiving that of what we don't want, then we're only going to see that of what we don't want. But when we can shift our focus towards what we do want, that's a complete 180 turn, and all of a sudden we're going to be seeing doors and opportunities that we couldn't see before because they were just out of our sight, because they're behind us and we don't have eyes behind our head. So we're very narrow focused. Whatever we focus on, that's all we see. When we're focused on the negativity, that's all we see. But when we focus on opportunity, when we focus on love, when we focus on goodness, when we focus on fulfillment, we see the doorway for that. So you're almost going to start to perceive of opportunities and doorways that you didn't even see or notice prior. And then we also have rest and rejuvenation right here. And before I get into this card, I'm going to quickly change my camera battery because it is about to die. I'm sorry for all these pauses. I'm going to talk about that. That actually has spiritual significance. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I'll be right back. Okay, so the significance of, for example, the candle burning out, the doorbell ringing, the camera battery that I need to change, all of that technically could just be my fault, right? But all of it seems to accumulate on this reading, so I take that as like a spiritual significance at the same time. And basically the spiritual significance behind that can mean that we're kind of focused on certain disruptions, or maybe we're attracting certain like pauses where it feels like things aren't happening and it keeps pausing. Maybe we have a pattern of things that just feel like they keep stopping. Right when we're like on the verge of attracting something, it just somehow it stops. Somehow there's like an interruption or a delay. And that can be that we're too focused on the pattern of that rather than noticing the solution out of that. So in order to find the solution out of those sort of occurrences is that we need to change our perception to begin to focus on opportunity. We need to begin to focus on the fulfillment of your desires rather than noticing all of the patterns that happen, because there's abundance of everything. There's an abundance of delays. There's an abundance of things never happening, but there's also an abundance of things actually happening and things being fully fulfilling and fully amazing. So if we begin to shift our focus to notice the result that we do want, and we begin to see it in others, we begin to see it in the world, we begin to see and focus our perception on that, we're going to begin to open up and perceive of the doorways that exist for us to get there as well. So hopefully that makes sense. We also have this rest and rejuvenation. So it's also, I think within the next 5 years, you're also going to be now focused on rejuvenating yourself rather than doing, because you might also be somebody who's like extremely busy, or we just might not be focused on actually nurturing ourselves and giving ourselves the rest and nurture that we need and that rejuvenation. So I also see you being more focused on fulfilling yourself, because rest and rejuvenation are super important within filling your own cup. And if we drain ourselves too much by either working too much or spending our time doing things that aren't actually fulfilling us on a deep level, like a lot of us use Instagram as a distraction, right? Or we scroll through Instagram, social media, or do all sorts of other things as a form of distraction, because we're seeking like the serotonin boost that sometimes getting likes can give us, or getting followers, or whatever, right? Because that naturally gives us like a dopamine or serotonin boost, or whatever the chemicals are, but that naturally gives us that boost, right? But it's not actually fulfilling on any deep level, right? Like we gain like 2 followers, it's like whoopee, you know what I mean? Like It's not actually fulfilling a real goal that we might have. So rest and rejuvenation actually are fulfilling, and they do fill up your cup in some way. Your cup of your emotional well-being and your emotional state and your energetic state. Instagram isn't going to give you tons of energy, but rest and rejuvenation and actually nurturing yourself and doing something that is productive in that way. It doesn't necessarily need to be productive, but even rest and rejuvenation, when done properly, is productive because you are rejuvenating yourself and filling yourself up with more energy. So I also see within the next 5 years, you're going to be discovering new ways of filling up your energy to where you feel emotionally fulfilled and you feel like you have the energy to do the tasks that you need to do and, accomplish the goals that you desire to accomplish. I mean, you're going to have enough energy for it because you're focused on filling up your own cup. Ooh, we also have the card here of commitment. Look at that. So especially if you are trying to manifest love in your life, look at this. It is manifesting. We are gaining that commitment that we've been desiring. So over the next 5 years, there's some deep commitments here. This could even be a commitment to yourself in some way or to a goal that you desire. This is you actually hand in hand with whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. Look at, you're hand in hand with it. You are committed. You are actually holding it in your hand. Whatever it is that you are trying to manifest, you are holding it in your hand. The next 5 years, my love. Whew. We also have Spirit of Place. So this card can talk about the fact that we have such a deeper connection to the subtle energy around us that's guiding us in the right direction. The way that the leaves are blowing, that subtle energy that's coming through. It's almost like the door to spirit, Spirit of Place. These two cards are very similar. So this is your intuition becoming very heightened, getting a calling. This is like an underlying calling of where we're supposed to go, and it's guiding you. So there's an energy that's really coming through within the next 5 years. And I think it's coming through even now while you're watching this. And this video is timeless. It doesn't matter when you're watching this. This energy is coming through now, this subtle energy. It's almost like spirit knows exactly what you desire to attract, and it's trying to guide you there. It's been trying to guide you there this whole time. Through rest and rejuvenation, we're going to hear it more. We're going to feel it more because we feel those subtle energies when we're, for example, in a state of meditation or we're in a state of calm and peacefulness. But if we're too filled with distractions, we're too much on Instagram, we're too much busy and like busy, and not having time to like calm down and like just sit with yourself. We overlook signs, synchronicities. We overlook underlying feelings that are trying to call us into a certain direction. So over the next 5 years, I really see you are going to begin to rest and rejuvenate. And through that, because of that, all of a sudden you're going to begin to feel this subtle energy, like the subtle spiritual energy that's coming through that is trying and has been trying to connect you to this desire all along. Okay, so it's like we have this desire, but we've been too focused in this direction while the wind is blowing against our face, trying to blow us in this direction, trying to blow us to our desire. But we've been facing, this way. We've been facing this way, and the wind is like, please turn around. But, when we're too busy and we're too distracted, we don't even notice the wind is there. We don't even notice that the energy is right there calling us and pushing us in that direction. But within the next 5 years, my love, and this can be happening very soon for you, too, is noticing where this energy is pulling you, and all of a sudden you're going to begin to manifest and actually have the physical tangibility of that manifestation. It exists right behind you, my love. The Four of Cups says that. It exists right over your shoulder, but when we're too busy focused on not having it, when we're too busy focused on other distractions or disappointments that we've experienced, we don't notice what's sitting right over our shoulder. We don't see the opportunity that's sitting right beyond our own resistance. So that is shifting for you because the wind is blowing through. It is opening up that door. It's just like, I'm coming through. And look at where that wind, this card literally shows the wind. And through rest and rejuvenation, you're going to feel where that wind is calling you. Like, look at that. It's like the wind is coming through. It's like, it's blowing you. It's opening up this doorway of opportunity. And then connecting you right to that manifestation. Like, do you see that flow in these cards? I'm astounded by it right now. It's literally like, imagine wind coming through. It's like, all of a sudden you're going to actually notice it. This is you noticing it when you're in a calm state. Look at, I'm even doing sound effects for you. Look at that. And the wind is so strong it blew out this freaking candle. Let's just say that's what that is. Anyway, the wind is coming through. Opening up the door that's been closed. This door has been closed in you. you have this opportunity within you. You can actually, this door exists within you to open up. You just need to open up yourself for this opportunity to just flow right in, and it will flow right in if you open that up. It's been trying to come through this whole time. Just saying, like, one thing that you've been trying to manifest, for a lot of you, this is love and romance. But something that you've been trying to manifest that's emotionally would be very fulfilling for you has been trying to come in this whole time. But it's going to come in through rest and relaxation, through meditation. You're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to finally open up this doorway to this thing. Look at that wind. Oh, look at that. It's so blatantly obvious to me, and I hope it is to you too. Just because these cards are they depict it so well, and they're laid out so perfectly to like describe this. I don't know. I just want to like place these cards this way right now, just so you can see it even better. But yeah, it's like the subtle wind, and then you'll finally feel it and hear it. And then when you finally feel it and hear it, you'll understand what it's been trying to open all along. And you're going to get these intuitions about what you're supposed to do, where you're supposed to go. And then the connection to what you've been wanting. So again, with that being said, next two cards that we will get into, we have the card here of healing. So you are healing something from your past. You're healing from this lack. There's no more feeling of unfulfillment and lack. You're healing, you're fulfilling that. We also have the card of fertility. So this can talk about having children. This can talk about just connecting to your youthfulness. Because when we think about our fertile years, those are our best, like they're known as our peak years, right? When we're fertile, it's like our peak years, right? And so when we're fertile, it means we're young, youthful, energetic, and like full of life, basically, to the fact that we can even give life. This can also be about all of a sudden your desires are now fertile desires, whereas before some of our desires might have been, absent of their fertility. We might have been like infertile in our desires. We were wanting our desires, but we're closed off. They're completely closed to actually inviting in the energy to make them happen. Right? All of a sudden, you are going to be very potent in being able to manifest your desires. All of a sudden, your desires are going to come in easier than ever. I also really want to move this card to this spot right here and make more balance, right? Angel balance. She wants to be center to balance out this reading. So that is some huge stuff that's going to be changing over the next 5 years. And then the next two cards that we have the bloom. So creations realized, right time, harvest and celebrate. You can only harvest something when we were fertile, and then we allowed in the ability to make it happen, the connection to make it happen, and then we're able to finally harvest and benefit the bloom of our seed that we planted. So creations are being realized. Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, they're being realized. They are blooming in your life in the right time, and there'll be an opportunity to kind of celebrate it. So divine timing is a thing, but the divine timing is now. We just need to get into a calm state so we can feel where the energy is guiding us. Also, we have the second bloom card, a second chance. It's never too late, new possibilities. We have the bloom and then the second bloom. That's so wild to me. So those two cards literally come right after the other, right? So this is like a fun little synchronicity. So then the second bloom, a second chance, right? So if we've already tried and we've failed, and maybe we're down on our failure, guess what? There's always many more chances in front of you. Just because we failed at one of them and we're maybe down on ourselves because we're like, that was my one and only opportunity for happiness. Da, 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 da. No, it wasn't. There's many other chances. You know how many flowers can bloom in a day? So many. So this isn't just saying that the second chance is your only chance, by the way. This card really indicates that there are so many chances, and just because you lost one chance does not mean that was your only chance. In fact, that was probably a learning lesson for you, right? So it's basically saying that don't get down on yourself. You can still manifest any of your desires. It is never too late. There's new possibilities all the time. All the time. And you are going to be able to manifest this within the next 5 years, it is going to be coming into your life. This is about you going with the flow and listening to where this is calling you, healing from your past, and realizing that new opportunities exist in front of you all of the time. It is for you. This was all curated for you, Pile 4. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our zodiac sign dice. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in your life over the next 5 years. This could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see what we have here. We have Aquarius energy. We have Cancerian energy. We have Cancer again, so a lot of Cancer energy coming through. And we also have Leo. Okay, so those are our top 3 zodiac signs. They could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising, or again, even a reflection of your own. So now we're going to roll them all together to get any last info on this reading. Ooh, we got the Venus planet. Ooh, the love in Capricorn in the 3rd. So this is some deep commitment. This is manifesting. This can be manifesting love, for example, in the communication of it, the blossoming of it, kind of coming into your life. And the beginning of it, because the 3rd house is like about communication, the beginning of something. This could be like mentally aligning yourself to something that you've been really desiring and committing yourself to that too, because Capricorn is very committed, and it's also about attaining a goal, reaching a goal. And it's about, like really committing yourself to something. Because if we're very unwavering, kind of like the wind, and we're like, oh, well, like if it comes, it comes, like da da da, like I'll just let it go if not, This is about being very committed to what you desire, but also about being free enough, because love is never like, I don't know, like so committed that it's choking anything. It's open and free, but it's also dedicated, right? So there needs to be a balance between those. But what I'm seeing here is like the dedication from your desire, your dedication from your desire to you. I'm also seeing this learning of commitment to communication, commitment to openness here. And through the commitment of actually communicating what you're feeling and what you're thinking and what you're desiring, through the openness of that, somehow it's going to cause lots of things to begin to flow into your life. And also taking time to rest and rejuvenate so that you can feel where the subtle energy is guiding you and not reacting too quickly on anything, being calm and patient, but also active and activating, so having a balance between that. So that's what we have here for you. I hope that made sense. Group number 4, if you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 5, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Okay, so group 5, here's what we have for you. We have the 6 of Pentacles, we have the Prince of Swords, or Princess of Swords, I should say, which is also known as the Page. And then we also have the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Discs, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the Prince of Cups, which is also the Knight of Cups. So what I'm kind of noticing here is there's something that maybe currently you're trying to climb the ladder on. Maybe you're trying to like get to higher places in life. And I definitely see in the next 5 years, you're going to be climbing that ladder even more, getting into newer, higher heights than you've currently been in. Like I really see you just kind of like climbing the ladder wherever you're currently at, and whatever you're currently trying to like climb to or get to, or different goals that you have to reach. You're going to be climbing that ladder more and more over the next 5 years and really starting to up-level yourself. Like the 7 of Wands here could be about we're climbing to a higher place in our career. We might be like constantly trying to improve and get to a new height and a new height in that, and things like that. The 6 of Pentacles can talk about collaborations, or it can talk about getting some sort of like help, or like receiving like some sort of benefits in regards to like money or material things. Like we might be just receiving more. This could be like gaining miracles, gaining certain gifts or things like that, or even having different opportunities open up for us where we're able to receive more financially and we're able to maybe receive more materially as well. And it just seems like things are better balanced. This can also mean that we're beginning to balance out some of our finances, and share some of them a bit more to where it's like easier for us, or we're just somehow like gaining more. And it can talk about different collaborations that are bringing us more success. It's definitely bringing us, just as the top of the card says, it literally says success. But this is the card of like kind of being given some sort of help, or even reaching a certain place in life where we feel like we have the ability to help others or even hire other people. So this could also be having a company where we feel like now we can like hire other people, or this can also be about getting accepted for certain loans, things like that, to be able to accomplish different things that we desire to accomplish, because there is some big accomplishments that you're desiring to reach. And it definitely looks like you're climbing that ladder, but it's not without effort, that's for sure. I mean, like climbing a ladder is not easy, but it definitely looks like you are climbing that to new heights. And it's going to be like, honestly, with the way that this card is laid out, it kind of looks like triple the height that you are right now. So in the next 5 years, I definitely see this tripling. Like there's 3 new kind of levels that you're going to be reaching over the next 5 years. It's going to cause you to reach newer heights than you've ever reached before. The Princess of Swords right here, which is the Page of Swords, can talk about like news or different information coming in that's allowing you to reach new heights. This can also be about having a bit of a fun kind of like personality over the next 5 years, where we're kind of just like able to joke around, have fun, and be a little bit playful, but also know when we need to like be really brutally honest in order for other things not to drag us down anymore. Because also with these 2 cards right next to each other, we're also learning the importance of being really honest, to where other things cannot drag us down. We don't let other things drag us down. And this could be about being honest about, hey, like I don't have enough time to give you because I'm really focused on like, you know, myself right now and getting myself to where I need to go. So I cannot offer help right now, or I cannot do this right now. It's like saying no and then saying yes to the things that you can do and saying no to the things that you don't want to do, right? And which is really important. It's really important to be authentic. And I see that you're just becoming a lot more open and authentic over the next 5 years. And it's going to really allow you to excel and reach new heights, this type of like authenticity and openness, and this type of realness, with cutting away the things in your life that really are kind of like taking your energy or dragging you down and things like that, so that you can make time for actually climbing the ladder that you're really desiring to climb. So I see that kind of becoming a more prominent aspect of your life and a more prominent part of your personality, is just this ability to be childish and have fun a little bit, you know, and not in an immature way, but just kind of like, I don't know, being able to just let loose and kind of have fun and be who you want to be, but at the same time having the discernment to be like, nope, 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 and just, it's a dry honesty, but it's going to really help you. And so I think that that's something that's developing even right now for you, as you're starting to notice the value in saying no and being really honest. We also have the Knight of Pentacles right here. And so this is kind of about like dedication to a bigger vision. And the fact that we also have the Queen right after, the Queen of Pentacles, which is kind of like the following next like person in the court cards after the Knight of Pentacles. And this symbolizes having a certain goal or dream, and it's maturing, it's getting bigger, and it's also worth more. So whatever dream that you have, whatever goal it is that you're trying to reach, I really see you up-leveling in that, and you're up-leveling your sort of net worth, you're up-leveling your money, you're up-leveling your worth of whatever it is that you're working on. I also see that you might have like a certain project or business, and this business or project or idea that you have is going to be more tangible, and also will have a higher worth to it over the next 5 years. You're really growing that worth, and I think you're also going to start expanding it in new ways as well. Because with the Knight of Chalices, the Knight of Cups, this is also when we start flowing in other directions as well. Just as like when we pour out water, it kind of flows in all sorts of directions. It's not just one directional. You can roll a coin and it's kind of just going to go in the direction that you roll it. But water, you spill water on the table and it's going to kind of disperse out. So what I see here is that you're going to be kind of dispersing your energy in other places as well. So in the next 5 years, I see you also focusing on other aspects of your life. And the chalices, the cups, can also symbolize our emotional fulfillment in other areas such as relationships. So we're starting to pour out our energy in all sorts of directions, but I see a major part of your energy focused on really growing who you are, growing maybe a possible business that you have or an idea. This can also be about learning more. So if you are in school for something and maybe you're up leveling that education to something even worth more, or it's worth more, it's more valuable, right? So you could also be up-leveling your education in some way. And this could, for example, be like a student loan, just because this card sometimes deals with loans, or it could be some sort of business investment. This could be even you investing your own money into a certain aspect of your idea or business, or into yourself in some way. And it's up-leveling your sense of worth and your actual physical net worth monetarily. I see your net worth kind of just increasing over the next 5 years with whatever you are investing into and whatever you're doing. But you are working hard for it, so you really do deserve it, because over the next 5 years, you are definitely working hard to climb this ladder, to climb to the top of whatever goal it is that you've been trying to reach. And yeah, you are definitely also focused on spending time in multiple other areas of life as well, including relationships and different goals that you have within your relationships as well. And it's like you're really starting to find the balance between that too, because the Six of Pentacles is about balance. So there's a nice balance here between your career and your romantic life, your emotional fulfillment, and all sorts of other aspects. Looks like it's you're balancing it out very well. But yeah, I also see you dispersing your energy to grow this idea as well. This could be growing yourself in some way. This could be growing a business project in some way. And it's beginning to disperse into more areas, more aspects, more avenues. Yeah, your avenues are really opening up, Group 5. They're really, really opening up. And you also have malachite here, which also is a crystal of abundance. So, I mean, it's no wonder that you chose that one. So with that being said, let's go ahead into our next few cards. We have Caring Connections. So this can be very connected to the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Chalices there. So this can mean that we're up leveling or getting to a new level in a relationship. This could be the beginning of a certain relationship if you are single, or just like up leveling your relationship to a deeper connection. Like things are definitely getting deeper for you and you're reaching new heights within relationships and also within career. We also have the card here of anxiety. So there could be moments where you are challenged, because the Seven of Wands does come with, it's not easy to climb the ladder, right? So there could be certain things where we feel like maybe we need to challenge ourselves, or maybe other people are wanting to steal our success from us, or other people are wanting to kind of like bring us down in some way. I do see you getting past this. I don't see it being a huge problem, but I also see you being able to get over a lot of that anxiety and come out on top, because as we can see, this card is over here. And the two that we have after that is like your net worth is still growing. Your business and your ideas are still growing. Your relationships are still growing regardless of this. So you're overcoming certain obstacles that you're even facing right now. So if you're facing certain anxieties, or you're facing certain things that you might be like worried about, you're really getting over that. And you are going to be growing your business regardless. This is growing. If you keep focusing on putting your energy towards that and climbing this ladder, if you keep focusing on climbing this ladder, you are going to be successful. It says it right here in the cards, my love. Like, this is growing. Your net worth is growing. So our focus just needs to stay on climbing that ladder, regardless of being pulled down, or regardless of other energies or forces wanting to stop us or bring us down that ladder. We can still keep going up. Oh, and then we have the storm warning card. So if we feel like we've been going through a bit of a storm lately, if you've been feeling like you've been kind of going through this, that's not going to last forever. You are building your net worth regardless. And in fact, this is making you stronger, because You know, when you, like, I've been using this example in every single reading when we're talking about a challenge, but just because it's the best example to give. So I'm sorry I keep giving like the same old examples, but it's so fitting when we're talking about challenges. But basically, when you go to the gym, sorry, I'm laughing at myself because I cannot believe how many times I've used this example. But when you go to the gym and you want to like build muscle, let's say you want to like get a big booty or you want to grow some abs or whatever, you know what I mean? If you go to the gym and you kind of like do the same old workouts that you've always been doing, it's not going to do anything for you. And, you know, even if you challenge yourself in a small way, it's not going to transform you a lot. And not very quickly, that's for sure. If you want to attain goals faster, if you want to get big results and reach big goals, it's similar to going to the gym. You're going to have to really challenge yourself. So if you've been going through challenges lately where it feels like things have been trying to pull you off the ladder that you've been trying to climb, or things have been weighing you down, there's obstacles standing in your way and things that you're just like having a hard time pushing through, this is happening for your benefit, because when we have certain desires and we're like, I really want to up-level myself, I want to get to the top of this ladder, guess what? If you're wanting to go from lifting 50 pounds to lifting like 250 pounds, oh Nelly, it's going to take some work. And of course the universe is going to say to you, okay, well then it's time to put on some more weight onto your weights. It's time to up level it. And you might be sitting there struggling, you're like, oh my God, what is going on here? But it's like, well, you asked and said that you wanted to reach bigger goals and get bigger muscles and like, you know, reach this new height. Well, guess what? It comes with its challenges. It comes with the exact amount of weight that you are trying to reach, right? If you're wanting to reach 250 pounds, well, guess what? We're going to have to start putting on some hefty weight in order to get to that goal, especially if we're wanting to manifest it quickly. So this is the universe's way of giving you the muscles and the tools to grow into who you need to grow to so that you can hold and attain this goal. Okay, so that's going to be coming over the next 5 years, and you're probably even going through it right now, right? But the more that we can persevere and use our willpower and determination to overcome this, right? Just like going to the gym and we're just like, I gotta do these 10 reps. And we're already struggling at like the fourth one and we're like, how am I gonna get it through? And it's just like, we have to push it through. We have to keep going. We have to have the willpower and determination and the trust in the universe that this is happening for us and not to us, right? Like we cannot play victim when we're at the gym and being like, these weights are too heavy for me. It's like, okay, well, we wanted to be able to lift this much, so let's do it. Let's go for it. And of course, we cannot jump from point A to point B. We can't just go all the way up to 250 pounds and you know, we're gonna just strain ourselves. We have to take it as it comes. Remember to relax and rejuvenate so that our muscles can grow. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but it is building you where you need to go. And, you know, the more that we begin to challenge ourselves and accept where we are and trust in the universe, the faster that it's going to come and the easier it's going to begin to become, especially if we can see that it's happening for us and not to us. So sorry if you've heard that example before in these readings. I tend to use that example a lot just because it's such a perfect example that I feel like anybody can digest and understand, because it just fits with the point of it so well. So yes, if you've been feeling like your boat has been struck down and turmoil and chaos has come into your life here and there, this is happening for you and not to you, okay? I just want to remind you of that. And you are going to be, like, seriously, after 5 years, I think you're going to be so proud of yourself, of the person that you are becoming, because you're realizing how to, you know, say no to what doesn't, you know, vibe with you on a deep level and is not helping you in your growth. But I really see you growing to way new heights, like triple the amount of where you are right now. And your net worth is going to be increasing, and your ability to reach more is going to be increasing in many aspects. And I see your relationships really taking on a new level as well. Like your relationships are definitely taking on a new height and a new level. So that's for sure. And I think that you're going to be getting over a lot of these old humps and really reaching new levels that you've been really desiring. And they're there, they're attainable, and they're coming. So with that being said, the next few cards that we have the card of dry desert. So even when it feels like the going gets tough, we have to keep going, right? And we're also realizing that maybe certain old things that we used to maybe have interest in are kind of dying out. And we've drinking all the water from that pond, so it's time for us to find a new pond, because that's also another indication, like when we feel like something's kind of not working out for us anymore or kind of drying up, it either needs to be revised, renewed, re-inspired, or we need to go and find a new oasis to drink from, right? So that's basically the idea of this card, and I think that you are realizing that you've already made it to a certain goal. So now it's time for you to either get re-inspired by something new, transform it in some way to get re-inspired by it, have new goals with that certain thing, or again, kind of like find a new desire or interest. We also have the card here of unexpected visitors. This card immediately is oddly making me feel like, for one aspect, I don't think this is going to apply to all of you. This is a general reading, so I don't think that what I'm going to say right now is going to apply to all of you, but some of you this might apply to. Unexpected visitors can sometimes mean unexpected pregnancy. Sometimes. But again, it doesn't apply to all of you. Like some of you listening to this, that is absolutely irrelevant, and I get that. That's fine. It probably doesn't apply to you in that way. It's a general reading, right? So we're pointing out all the different options. But oddly, this card sometimes makes me feel like unexpected pregnancy, especially because of the red down here. I don't know why. I just get unexpected, kind of like pregnancy. But unexpected visitors can also mean unexpected opportunities coming your way as well. So it doesn't have to be unexpected pregnancy. This can also be unexpected opportunities coming your way. So things popping up in your life that you were like, oh, wow, like that was like totally unexpected. And it could be because like, you know, we might be manifesting like a particular goal, dream, or desire or path to kind of unfold for us. But along the way, maybe in order for that path to sort of unfold and happen, there's other paths that take us on a detour in order to get us from point A to point B, right? Because maybe the straightaway doesn't really exist. So there's unexpected new opportunities that are going to be coming into your life. This can also be unexpected new friends coming into your life as well. So unexpected new connections coming into your life. And yeah, unexpected opportunities and things like that. But either way, this is like kind of like unexpected things kind of popping into your life that maybe we weren't so prepared for. For example, unexpected pregnancies, or, you know, just new people coming into your life, especially since we have a lot of court cards. This can definitely be like new friends, new connections from the most unexpected places. So with that being said, the next couple cards that we have here, we also have the card here of psychic protection. So this can mean that we're now much more protective of our energy, because there could have been, you know, maybe even some of you didn't have proper boundaries, because unexpected visitors can also mean that we didn't have proper boundaries and we kind of let people walk all over us. And maybe that's also why we have psychic protection coming through. So another aspect of these two cards kind of popping up in this reading can mean that maybe we don't have the best boundaries, and maybe we need to start respecting our own boundaries a little bit more, and we need to start protecting our own energy a little bit more. So over the next 5 years, I think that you're also going to be realizing that maybe we need to put our foot down, because maybe a lot of people want your attention or your time or your energy, or they all want you to do something for them, and it's kind of like we can't have time for all of that. So that's also why we had that Princess of Swords, where I was talking about how you're going to learn how to start saying no and putting your foot down a lot more. So this correlates perfectly with what we were talking about earlier with that. And some of those things might be causing you anxiety, and it's really time to kind of stir up the pot in order to start protecting your energy a lot more. And maybe a new you is going to be blossoming that's a little bit unexpected for other people, to where we're like, we need to actually speak up about the way that we're feeling. Otherwise, we're just letting it fester inside of us, and then it blows out all of a sudden, you know? Like, that's not healthy. So instead, if we notice that certain people kind of like walk all over us, time to start protecting your energy and put up better boundaries. It is time to put up better boundaries. Also, psychic protection is important as well. So if you feel ever like bombarded by anything, you can also surround yourself and your home with 100% pure white light from the highest source, and just imagine a waterfall of that coming through and putting a nice bubble of protection around it, saying that only of the highest of good energies and love can come in here. And that is another way of like psychically protecting yourself. For example, I know that sounds a little esoteric and out there, but you're here watching a pick a card reading, so I'm pretty sure you're able to digest those things. Anyway, the next card that we have is the card of imagination. So I think that you're also sort of expanding your own mind, your own mentality. So you are becoming more creative, for one. I also think through lots of these sort of turn of events type of situations, it is actually going to inspire you a lot, and it's going to cause you to see the world in new ways and in expanded ways, which allows you to expand a lot of your ideas and create new things that allow you to really up-level your energy and up-level who you are, and maybe up-level your business in certain ways, because now you're seeing a broader perspective than you ever have before. And that's allowing, again, more inspiration and a more expanded mind is of course going to think of more expanded ideas, and you're expanding your mind over the next 5 years, which allows you to expand into completely new realms. And I think a lot of people find inspiration through you and will find inspiration through you because you are expanding who you are at a deep level, and it's going to be very inspiring for other people to kind of see that. The next two cards that we have here, we have the Holy Grail, Stop the Endless Searching, Inner Quest. Ooh, so the Holy Grail is like where we find kind of like, also I don't know, I always see the Holy Grail as sometimes the Ace of Cups in my mind. They're actually really similar. The Ace of Cups is actually supposed to be the Holy Grail, especially in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. It has the M on it, and it's actually upside down, and it looks like a W, but it's actually the M for Mary Magdalene, and it symbolizes the Holy Grail. So whenever I see the Holy Grail card, I also think about the Ace of Cups, which is basically this emotional fulfillment and attaining something that we really have been longing for. So stop the endless searching. This is an inner quest. So I think you are going to be reaching inner fulfillment, and you're no longer going to really need external things in order to feel this fulfillment. I think that you're really reaching like a genuine internal emotional fulfillment that is going to be very powerful for you. But on the other hand, you're also at the same time attaining beautiful other connections and deepening current connections that you have. And it's kind of like you stop searching because it's like you've begun to attain some of your biggest dreams, and you're realizing that your emotional fulfillment is really stemming from within. We also have the Breathing Rose, heart healing, emotions connection, time eases. So I think that this is calming. This is calming. This is the complete opposite of anxiety. So you're really going to be healing any sort of anxieties or worries that you've had in the past, or that you maybe even currently have. That is going to be healing so deeply, in fact. And it also is like you're fulfilling possibly like a void. I think that you're going to be filled with more love than you felt in a long time, maybe even ever. Just like look at how filled his chest is with love, like, or her, I guess, her or him, I don't know, but so much love. My goodness, like I think that you are going to be so fulfilled with love to where other things don't really bother you that much anymore. It's like you're really satisfied. It's like you still have desire though, you still have desire, but at the same time, it's like it's coming from a place of fulfillment and satisfaction. So that is what we have there. That is also the Holy Grail, is when we find the emotional internal satisfaction rather than external. And the Holy Grail is something that I believe is within us all rather than an external physical thing that we're constantly searching for. And I think that's the big lesson in the Holy Grail, right? Because it's like that mythical Holy Grail. The actual lesson, I think it's such a brilliant idea, because we're all searching for like this actual physical Holy Grail, only to realize that, guess what, the Holy Grail exists within all of us. It's a symbolism, in my opinion, of our search for fulfillment externally. We're constantly searching this treasure to find fulfillment, and that's a symbolism of how a lot of us live our life. But the funny part is the Holy Grail exists within you. It is your soul. You are that. You are 100% fulfillment. We just need to come back to that and realize that and be our own fulfillment. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and roll the Astro Dice 3 times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in your life in the next 5 years. This could be a reflection of somebody's sun, moon, or rising, or even a reflection of your own sun, moon, or rising sign. So let's see the top 3 most prominent, most likely signs. We have Aries as one of the most prominent ones. We also have Cancer coming through, and Gemini. So Cancer, something Gemini. I forgot what all those ones were, but yeah, those are the top 3 zodiac signs. Somehow I'm already forgetting what that was. Wow, my memory is getting kind of bad after reading this many cards. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and roll all of this all at once to get any last information on your reading. So let's see. We have Neptune in Aries in the 10th house. Oh, I just moved that to the 6th. That was supposed to be 10. So Neptune in Aries in the 10th house. This is dreaming up new career dreams, because the 10th house deals with career. It also deals with our material world and our big goals. And Neptune is our fantasy. So Neptune in the 10th house would be that we are sort of dreaming up and fantasizing a new beginning, Aries, right? A new beginning within our career, expanding it more into a deeper fantasy using our imagination. We're really starting to expand into a deeper fantasy. This can also be about media, so more media recognition if some of you work in a field that involves media, or have any desires with that. That can be more media recognition, but also dreaming up a new fantasy in regards to big goals that you desire to reach. You know, the top of the chart is like the 10th house, right? And yeah, that's all about our really big goals that we have to reach and whatnot. And being Neptune in the sign of Aries is our creativity and going after what we desire. It's like a new desire that we have and just beaming after it. So there's going to be a lot of new fantasies coming up over the next 5 years that really help you just, I don't know, really reach your best, basically. I really see you reaching your best. And it's also interesting. We have this 1 4 4 1 4 1. Look at all these 4 1s. My goodness. We have a 4 here, 1 4 4 4 1 4 1. Like, there's so many 1s and 4s there. It's actually a number that I see a lot. But yeah, 1s deal with new beginnings, a new chapter opening, and the 4 deals with foundation. So where are you rooting yourself? You're rooting yourself into a brand new foundation in the next 5 years. You're going to be like having much closer connections, dreaming up deeper fantasies than you've ever had before, reaching new heights than you've ever had before, releasing some anxieties or worries and gaining more boundaries and more respect, and also up-leveling yourself. So that looks beautiful. Also, it's funny, my camera's literally about to cut out right now, and that's like perfect timing to end this reading. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, group number 5. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye.